It is what it is. It is what it is. Alright. So, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy Isaiah coming to you again from Buckles Locker. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share all the videos, and don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you all new videos that's posted on this channel. If you want to donate, please feel free to donate. All donations are welcome, big or small. Support the channel. It helps the channel. As we can do this Monday, overreaction, underreaction, not an overreaction, not a reaction, whatever you want to call it. I briefly scoured the social media platforms across the internet. Didn't do too much, kind of hit the platforms and just kind of grazed through some comments. But we're going to get into that in a second. Shouts out to all the Powers and Sea Bandits. Keep doing your thing. Keep supporting the Bucs. Not just when they're doing good, but also when they're doing bad or play bad or something's going on. Still support your team, right? Nobody's perfect. No team is perfect. No player is perfect, right? We understand that. And also make sure you don't get too emotional. The Bucs lose. It's okay to be mad. It's okay to be upset. But don't let your emotions control the words that come out your mouth. Before you talk, make sure you think logical, objective, right? You understand how that works? This is where we are not playing the game. We are fans of these teams. So please understand and don't get that confused of being a fan and acting like you're playing the game yourself. You're playing the game online, Madden, right? You're not actually on the field. So please make sure your emotions don't overtake the words that come out your mouth, right? So let me give me some shout outs in the chat room real quick. Chat room is starting to pop off real quick. So everybody got something to say, huh? So Jeffrey, Brent O'Neill, Grislow, what up, shooter? Jump to Chili Will, Kent Jackson, Payday 39. He want payday. You want payday? He want payday. Damian Street. Who else in the chat room here? Who else joining the live stream right now? You want to talk about crypto? You got time? Hey, come get this team. Hugh Culverhouse, Ray Perkins, Sam Weiss, come get this team. We're in the 1979 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You wish. Evans, we pray. Exclusive Garvey, man. What's up, man? Damian, what's up, man? Young Deezy, baby. You wish. Or there is Bucks fan 26. Look. Oh, I forgot. Hold on a second. My bad, I forgot. Trill, G-Boy, what up? Hey, pass me that tablet. Throw the whole tablet away. Give me that tablet. I had to do that, folks. When I saw the video, I had to get the tablet, folks. I had to. Give me that tablet. Come on. What happened? What happened? I thought he dropping balls. Scotty too hard, can't get open. Chris Gower hurt. Mike Evans hurt. Leonard Fournette hurt. Tyler Johnson not getting open consistently. Number 80 ain't catching the ball. Cameron Brady ain't getting open. Byron Leonard, what you doing? I don't know what this is. I don't know. this? What am I seeing? I can't see. I'm 44 years old. I can't see this. Anybody, somebody, come get this come get this tablet. It don't work. Boy. Anyway. Yeah, folks, I'm about to talk about it for a little bit. I'm sure y'all want to come on here. Y'all got a lot to say about the game. So this is my last well, I go pick up my twin tomorrow, so we'll get a video Wednesday too. So somebody call Microsoft or Amazon. Can somebody call Microsoft and get Tom Brady a new tablet? Because he gonna need it. Gardner Johnson was trolling Brady today on Twitter. He trolled him real good too. He trolled him. He said, "Hey, somebody call Microsoft and get my friend a new tab. My friend need a new tab." I'm paraphrasing, but Gardner Johnson is a troll. He's a good one too. The dude can play. Go Gators, by the way. He's a Gator guy, so I gotta rock with my guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a Gator guy, so he's been like that for a long time. He's not acting. He's been like that. He's a troll. He get on your nerves. He aggravate. He's very aggravating. So let's get down to business. Y'all want me to go through the stats real quick? Okay. So remember, numbers don't lie, but people do. Right? What does your eyes tell you? Does the numbers match up with the eyes? Right? You gotta match the numbers with the eye test. You put them together and you come up with that's the formula, the eye test and the numbers. And then you take that formula and you put it together and you come out with your opinion. You know, some of the stuff is going to be opinionated, and then some of it's going to be facts. Right? The numbers is going to give you the facts. Then I'm going to put my spin on it. You know what I'm saying? As far as what I believe, what I saw. Now, everybody got a different thought process on how they look at the football games, but hey, y'all know how I get down. So let's go through this real quick. Because it was not pretty. Not pretty at all. Quite embarrassing too. Shame on the Bucs, man. You know, and I gotta start at the top. Marvin for Christ, Jim Vortek. What's up? Kimberly Watson. Yeah, they making a lot of excuses. Yeah, they are. Yeah, the across the media, they don't know what to do right now. The Bucs lose, they figure out and they spin a narrative and they make excuses instead of just coming out being real and saying the Bucs just got beat. They don't want to do that. They want to spin a narrative and not give credit where it's due. And I'm not y'all know on my channel I don't get down like that. I show respect. Oh, we got Saints fans. I know TJ Jones over there running. I know he rolling right now. I know he is. He's supposed to come holler at me. I'm surprised he ain't came on the channel yet. Matter of fact, somebody send him a DM or a text. Tell him to come on here to the locker room and come join Bucco's locker. Let's talk about this game. That'll be a very interesting conversation to have with him. He can come on here live and we can do a split screen and we can definitely talk about the game because I definitely want to hear what he got to say. All right, so here we go with the stats. Team stats. So total yards, the Bucs had 302 yards. The Saints had 212. Passing yards, the Bucs had 184. The Saints had 151. Rushing yards, the Bucs had 118. Saints had 61. The Bucs averaged 4.1 yards per play. The Saints averaged 3.5. First downs, the Bucs had 17 first downs. Saints had 11. Third down, the Bucs were 6 for 19 on third down. The Saints were 3 for 16. Fourth down, the Bucs were 0 for 1. Saints didn't attempt the fourth down pass. Total plays, the Bucs had 73. The Saints had 60. Sacks allowed, the Bucs allowed 4 sacks. The Saints allowed 2 sacks. The Bucs had 8 punts. The Saints had 9. Penalty yards, the Bucs only had 3 for 30. The Saints had 6 for 41. Fumbles lost. The Bucs lost the fumble. The Saints didn't lose a fumble. Interception thrown, the Bucs had 1 interception. The Saints had 0. Time of possession, the Bucs 30 minutes and 16 seconds. The Saints, 29 minutes and 44 seconds. So we'll just start at the top, right? Coaching. That was horrible. The coaching was horrible. And what did I tell y'all this? In the preview video, I said coaching is going to decide this game. I can care less about records and yards and touchdown passes and what you rank at offensively and defensively and what all this. It was about coaching. And I warned y'all. About the coaching. When it comes to the Bucs coaching staff and the Saints coaching staff, it's not a good matchup. The Saints coaching staff is clearly better than the Bucs coaching staff. And if you're a Bucs fan and you have yet to admit that, something's wrong with you. Because how many games it's going to take to let you know that the Saints are overall just a better coach team, top to bottom. Remember, folks, I am starting at the top. That's how businesses are run. When something's wrong, you look at the top. You don't point the finger at the supervisor or the area manager or the district manager. You point the finger at the very top. Bruce Arians is 100% accountable for the display of what, as a Bucs, what we saw last night. That was utterly horrible. The stats. If you take the score off the board and you look at these stats and you ask yourself, just by reading these numbers, who you think won the game? A lot of y'all will say the Bucs. Analysts, talking heads, YouTube channels, the Bucs won the game. But when you remove that hand off the scoreboard and you see the Saints with 9 points and the Bucs with 0, that was a total embarrassment. Prime time, another stinker on prime time against the Saints. This is not a rivalry, Bucs fans. Quit trying to latch on to something that is not there. There's nothing there, Bucs fans. This is not a rival. Rival games are back and forth. The Bucs and Saints are not a rival. Can we get that clear? At least on this channel. Can we understand that part? Because if you can understand that part, we could this conversation is going to be a lot easier. It's going to hurt some of you Bucs fans. It's going to hurt. It's going to sting a little bit, but I have to be logical and objective. That was the worst game I've seen Bruce Arians coach since he's been the head coach of the team. I'm going to repeat. That is the worst game plan I've seen. Much worse than the 38-3 shellacking the Saints gave us last year at home. That was a bad game. This was the bottom of the barrel of Bruce Arians' tenure as a Bucs head coach because of what was at stake. The playoff positioning, the NFC South, win that at home and celebrate it with the fans. You know, you can break this losing streak against the Saints, the Aints. This was the worst game I've seen as Bruce Arians as the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you can find another game, show me. What you gonna point at the Bears? Huh? You gonna put the Bears game out, the Rams game, the Chiefs game? You gonna point those games out? No. This was the worst game. A lot of you Bucs fans need to recover. I'm gonna give y'all till Wednesday to recover. Get it out your system. Accept the loss, because I see a lot of y'all out there won't accept the loss fair and square. Some people saying, oh, they was doing a bounty gate on the Bucs knees. They was taking shots at the Bucs knees, and Chris Godwin got hurt because the Saints had a bounty out on somebody on the Bucs offense. I heard all these conspiracy theories already. The excuses. Oh, the Bucs had injuries. What did I tell you about that? I done told y'all. Let me get my switch. I done told y'all about these excuses. All these teams out here with injuries, and now you want to complain. We done played multiple teams with injuries. We beat them. I don't hear peep. But the minute we lose, here comes though we was injured. We need AB. Oh, now you need AB. A few weeks ago, it was like, oh, no, AB, get cut him. Now you need him, huh? So which one is it, Bucs fans? When are you going to accept a loss fair and square? Why is it always a team that when we get beat, it's always, well, but Jameis. I just had to put it in there. But this was a game that we saw multiple times in recent history. Poorly executed game plan. There was no plan B. So I don't want to hear the excuses of a team that was not coached well, that did not play well. Remember, if it's not coached well, the players are not going to respond. Clearly, the players did not respond to this game plan. From the opening series of the game, it kind of gave, when you go back and look at the highlights. You don't even got to look at the whole game. Just go back and look at the first series of the game. It kind of set the tone how the game was going to go. And I didn't want to believe that, but when you go back and watch it, go back and watch the first drive. That was a telltale sign of how the game was going to go. It was not going to go well. And I overlooked that. Hey, I can't catch everything. Did you know the Bucs' first 11 or 12 plays were throws? Did you know, I think it was the first 12 plays, 11 or 12, all throws. So you mean to tell me you think you finna sit back and chuck the ball around to break records to get the MVP against that secondary? What did I tell you about the same secondary? Shannon Sharp, I like him because he's a football player. He understands football. I don't listen to Skip Bayless. The same guy that calls us sucking ears. I checked out Shannon. I listened to Shannon Sharp because he played the game. He see what's going on with Tampa. And I agree with him too. The Bucs are trying to get Tom Brady the MVP in all these records. And I've been saying this. Stat padding stats, throwing the ball 50 times, 48 times. What are we doing here? Last night's game was a prime example of they're chasing the MVP trophy for the Brady. You're putting an individual over the team. I warned y'all about that. I warned y'all about the stat chasing. He's not getting MVP, folks. Hang it up. Stop. He's not getting it. So they can stop chasing that and get football. How about the Bucs do that? Shannon Sharp, he a Hall of Famer, sees the BS. The Bucs are stat chasing. Clearly. Why would you have a game plan of 12 straight throws? You mean to tell me you're not even going to attempt to run the ball? It was so crazy. Hold on. The stats gets more ugly. The stats get more uglier, right? Well, I mean, in a good way. It's good and a bad way. The Bucs threw the ball 48 times. Why do you keep throwing the ball 40 plus times a game? You know, late in the season, the running game tends to be more productive. The players are tired, injuries mounting up. It take a long time to recover. Oh no, not the Bucs. We gotta throw the ball to get these numbers and get these stats and these records and get some hardware. Chasing hardware. You ain't getting it. Jonathan Taylor, Aaron Rodgers. Pick one. That's what I'm looking at as the MVP right now. You can't have a stinker like this and think you're going to get MVP. You can't lose to Taylor Heineke, Taysom Hill. Can't do that. Go look at Aaron Rodgers' stats. Major categories. Oh, the passing yards. See, you're copping out. That's weak because you're looking at surface level stuff. But when you dig deep, Aaron Rodgers' numbers are way better. But you're looking at passing yards, touchdowns, right? Number one seed right now. Better wins. Well, a better win. The Packers were injury prone. Lost a lot of players. They went to Arizona and beat Arizona. What was the excuse then? The first 11 plays were all throws, 48 times against that secondary. It's not the Dolphins secondary, not the Bears secondary, not the Eagles secondary, not the Falcons secondary. No. We're going to chuck the ball around against a secondary that is built to stop the Bucs. You know what would have messed the Saints up? If the Bucs would have ran the ball and had 200 yards rushing. That would have messed the Saints up bad. But no, the Bucs, being delusional, playing into a team that strength is their defense. To soften a defense up, you need to run the ball. You know, the Bucs had 21 carries, 21 rushes for 118 yards. 5 yards a carry. They average more yards per carry than yards per catch. Let that sink in, folks. A whole yard. 5 yards a rush to 4 yards of completion? And you mean to tell me the Bucs didn't want to run the ball? And it was effective. What did I tell y'all? For weeks, we're going to need the running game. We're going to need the running game, and the Bucs go into this game, throw it out the window. First 11 plays. Pass. Hold the L, Bucs fans, because I've accepted the L. You got to learn how to take an L as a fan. Stop crying. Because if I call you out, keep that same energy and come on here and give me the same energy. Because when I open the locker room up, if you want to talk noise, come in the locker room live, split screen with me. Because I'm going to get you. I've been waiting on you. I've been waiting on some of you Bucs fans to do that. So you want to come on here and take shots, keep the same energy when I open the locker room up. That was horrendous. That was a bad offensive game plan. Throw the records out the window when you play the Saints. It doesn't matter. We have to learn how to beat the team. The Bucs will not beat the Saints until they learn how to be more balanced. You can get away with this against other teams. You got away with it against Buffalo in the first half. Second half, you went to Dookie. You got away with it against the Colts. You got away with it against all these bad teams. But you can't do that against a team, I'm going to keep saying this, one of few teams that matches up with the Bucs very well, regardless of the record. Because I was thinking like you guys. The Bucs are going to win the game. 38-17. Trust me, I'm right there with y'all. Y'all know me. I said the Saints are going to beat the Bucs the first time, and we'll beat them the second time at home. 38-17. The offense can't keep up. I didn't see this coming. I knew the Saints had a tough defense, but I just thought that the Bucs would just have too much firepower and too many 3-and-outs by the Saints, which the Saints had a lot of 3-and-outs. They converted 3 for 16 on third downs. They didn't do anything on offense. But for some strange reason, they got 9 points. And the defense played very well. Granted, it was a bottom 3 offense. So how much hype can you get about that? How hype can you get when the Bucs defense playing really well against a bottom 3 offense? You're supposed to do that. They weren't even supposed to get 9 points. A bottom 3 offense, and you guys are hyped up. I'm not taking anything from the Bucs defense, but that's what they were supposed to do against that offense. Why are you guys surprised that the Saints didn't do nothing on offense? They had a couple big plays. Secondary, having some lapses in the game. But other than overall, the secondary played well against a bottom 3 offense, a passing offense. So you don't get no cookies for that. That's what you're supposed to do against that weak offense. It's weak, and y'all know that. But they got plays down the field when it mattered. They had help in special teams, and they made key throws to Callaway. Callaway was the only guy catching the ball. William Butler with a super chat, $5 super chat. Appreciate the super chat. What up, big dog? If you were going to place a blame, where exactly would it go? At the top. Start at the top. I said this in my pregame video. It starts with coaching. Coaching. I tell people, coaching matters, and especially games like this. Because you can have the talent, but when you don't have the right game plan, what did the Bucs do the whole entire week? Got caught up in the headlines. Because if they wasn't caught up in the headlines, that game wouldn't have went like that. This is more psychological, folks, because the Saints not only whipped the Bucs physically, but psychologically, the Bucs are afraid of the Saints. Well, we beat them in the playoffs. 1-7 or 1-6 the last 7 games. 1-7, whatever it is. And you hanging your hat on one win. We won when it mattered. Okay, I got it. So you're clinging on something that was in 2020. Okay, cool. Well, what about this year? How about that? Catch me outside. Well, the first game, they got lucky. Okay. So they got lucky. They got lucky in week 8. Okay, cool. And what about this game? Well, they got lucky because we had injuries. Come on. So you see where I'm going with this? When is it going to register that the Saints just have our number as of right now? Because see, at first it was physical. But see, a lot of people think football is just all physical. Football is not all physical, folks. It's psychological. It's just as much as psychological too, because you can be out there physically, but mentally not there. And it starts at the top. You have to get your guys prepared every Sunday, every day of the football year. From training camp, OTAs, all the way into the last game, you have to have your guys ready every day because you're on a mission. And the Bucs clearly lost focus in this game. And they got their butts whooped by a team. The Saints are an average team. And the only reason why they average is because of their defense and the special teams and the head coach. Because the offense is putrid. That's a putrid offense. We sat there and watched a running back having arm punts. And somehow they got 9 points on board. You can't make this up. The Bucs effectively ran the ball well. 5 yards a carry. You know what the Saints did? The Saints said, you know what? We're going to rely on our defense. Defense take us home. And the defense set the tone the first series. Who would have thought that the Saints, if the Bucs would have scored 10 points, they would have beat the Saints. And the Bucs didn't get 1 point. That was, I'm gonna keep tapping at the door at the top. For all the antics that Bruce Arians give us and his mouthy, and he say one thing and does something else, when it comes to the Saints, he doesn't do a great job. He doesn't do a good job at all. But he beat the Saints in the playoffs. 1-5, 1-6 against the Saints. Dort Cutter is 3-3. That's right. The famous Dort Cutter. With the Mike Smith and the Mark Duffner and Todd Monken, that trash coaching staff. That guy is 3-3 against the Saints. Against Sean Payton. And Arians can't win more than 1 game. So much was wrong with this game. And remember what I told y'all about this game? About the rest of the season? You want to get out of the season into the playoffs healthy. And the worst, and if it couldn't get any worse, 3 of our top 5 pass catchers got injured in the game. All leg injuries. Two hamstrings. At first, it was an MCL. Chris Godwin, ACL. And I'm going to get to him in a little bit about the caution of not taking the money when the money's there on the table. Remember, I told y'all, you got to pay the guy. They franchised him. They should have gave him the contract. The NFL stands for not for. I'm going to wait on that. I'm going to hold off on the Chris Godwin situation. Because that's messed up for that young man to be in that situation. PJ Williams, that was kind of, look, that I didn't like that hit either. I'm going to give PJ Williams the same energy that I gave Devin White. That was a bad hit. Why did you go that low? I play football. You know football is a dangerous sport and you can take guys' knees out. Why would you go that low? Why you couldn't hit him in his chest, in his rib area? Why did you have to hit him in the thigh? Which got his leg caught in the grass. And if you look at the replay and how his leg got bent, it was the same way Winston's leg got bent. So PJ Williams, you dirty for that. PJ Williams, you are dirty for that. You've been in the league long enough to know going that low can tear somebody's knees up. Remember, going across the middle is a dangerous thing. It takes cojones. It takes cojones to go across the middle. That's how receivers don't like to go across the middle, because that type of stuff happens. And what is the Bucs offense predicated on? Crossing routes. Shallow crossing routes. And the Saints were sitting on that the entire game. But nope. Byron Leftwich, Bruce Arians, stubborn, same old game plan, shallow crosses, and the Saints were waiting on you. It didn't work. So you mean to tell me we got nothing else in the playbook outside of shallow crosses and a wide receiver screen and a check down? Shame on PJ Williams. You could have hit him from the pads to the ribs, right up in here, shoulder. You could have put your shoulder into his torso. You didn't have to hit him that low. That was a dirty hit. That was a dirty hit. Go back and watch the replay, folks. That's a dirty hit. He had time to hit Chris Godwin in a better spot. If I play football, folks, you don't have to hit the man like that. So I'm not saying it was something behind that, but all I know, the Saints were playing an extra. And you know they was playing this game for Winston. You know they was. The way they was playing last night. They was doing a lot of extra stuff. And the Bucs didn't retaliate. They just let the Saints bully them. The Bucs let the Saints bully them on both sides of the ball. This was a game where we could have used Ryan Jensen's personal foul, set the tone, because the Saints literally beat the Bucs up. Literally. Since the 1970 merger, no team with the number one scoring offense has been shut out. That's bad. Now, let's get back to the game. The Bucs passing numbers were putrid. 26 for 48, 214 yards, 48 times, 214 yards. And the Bucs continue to throw the ball. No touchdowns in the pit. QBR under 60. Passer rating under 50. Well, under 60. But for some strange reason, Ronald Jones, 8 carries for 63 yards. 7.9 yards a carry, and we don't want to give him the ball. Shame on you, Bruce Arians. What has Ronald Jones done to Bruce Arians? I don't know. Fournette got hurt. Ronald Jones came in and started producing. And what did Arians do? Thank you. 8 carries? This game was set up for the Bucs to run the ball. This was like they could have had 200 yards rushing. See, remember, New England did it. There were games that the New England Patriots would run the ball 45 times. With the great Tom Brady, they'll run the ball 45 times. So you mean to tell me the Bucs only got one way to win? Is chuck the ball around? This was the perfect game to have 37 carries, 220 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. Nope. 48 times. L. What kind of game plan was that? And then you had all your guys hurt, and you're still chucking the ball around. The Tyler Johnson, Scotty Too Hot, who can't run nothing but one route, a streak down the line. Cameron Brake couldn't get open. Rob Gronkowski had 2 catches, 11 targets, 2 catches. Evans had 1 catch. Brake had 2. Gronkowski had 2. Fournette had 7 catches. That don't work. The Saints was ready for that. The game plan is too basic. Tyler Johnson had 4 catches. Chris Godwin had 6 catches. The running game was there, folks, and the Bucs chose not to do it. They made the choice. We're not going to run the ball. We're going to keep chucking the ball into that secondary. Epic failure. All caps. Epic failure. All caps. And you can spin it how you want to spin it. There's no excuses around that. Defensively, the Bucs did a darn good job of holding the quarterback or the running back / H-back / tight end acting as a quarterback. Taysom Hill was horrible. Saints fans that's in this chat room. But sir, Taysom Hill is starting quarterback. Bring me a real quarterback. But sir, Taysom Hill is a quarterback. He's horrible. And if Saints fans, you think you're going to hang your hat on that guy, Liam Neeson's voice. Good luck. No, Morgan Freeman's voice. Good luck. That guy's horrible. But he made plays down the field. He did another arm punt. And for some strange reason, the guys in the secondary couldn't locate the ball. Kamara didn't do anything. Taysom fails 13 for 27, 154 yards. Taysom Hill rushing 11 carries, 33 yards. The quarterback power was horrible. Alvin Kamara 11 carries, 18 yards. Mark Ingram 9 carries for 10 yards. They ran the ball 31 times. You don't think the running game kind of helped them? Even though the running game didn't do anything, they still ran the ball 31 times. They ran the ball 31 times, and they passed the ball 27 times. This was the game the Bucs should have. This is the game plan the Bucs should have had. Run the ball. But nope. 48 times. Taysom Hill missed so many open guys. It could have been worse, folks. If Taysom Hill was a competent quarterback, which he's not, it could have got worse, Bucs fans. It could have been like 27-0, 24-0. Taysom Hill missed guys all night long. One read quarterback. Had a fullback streaking up the sideline. He throws to Adam Troutman. Go back and watch the film, folks. He missed so many open guys. Kamara was open in the flat continuously. He was missing guys. He's a one-read quarterback. It could have been worse with another quarterback. I got to be honest, folks. It would have been worse with Winston, a competent quarterback at least. At least he would have made those throws. It would have been ugly. He missed a lot of throws. The Saints' game plan was there. Taysom Hill couldn't execute it the way it should have been executed. We took an L against a really bad quarterback, but it would have been worse with their starter because those throws were there. So before you run around here talking about, the secondary, no. He missed a lot of throws. He missed at least 5 to 10 of them. Callaway had 6 catches for 112 yards. So you mean to tell me we could stop one guy? And all his catches were affected the game. Every catch Callaway had affected the game. Carlton Davis, what's the problem? You want to get paid top money. Guys like Callaway can't have those type of numbers. They had one receiver. Tre'Quan Smith had 2 catches. Kamara had 2 catches. He was open, though. Trotman was open a couple times, too. Van Nett was open a couple times. That fullback was open a couple times. Tre'Quan Smith was open a couple times. We got lucky, folks. Marquez Callaway, the guy's really a number 3 at best, maybe a 4. He's not a number 1 or number 2. Had his career game against the Bucs. That's right. His first 100-yard game of the season. He ain't done nothing the whole season. Against the Bucs, bombs away. Arm punt, catch, deep pass, over Murphy Button, catch. Like what? They only got one receiver. We can start one receiver. Both teams offensively did not look good at all. Mr. Big Pun with a $2 super chat. Appreciate it, man. That was disappointing. Sean Murphy Button was toasted. Yes, he was. Toasted. He was toasted. Sean Murphy Button needs to tighten up. If we want to get to the Super Bowl again, he needs to tighten up. When we didn't have Jamel Dean, we didn't have Sean Winfield Jr., Andrew Adams. Fam, you got to get that interception, fam. Now I'm about to slide over to the Bucs defense now. I'm done with the offense. That was horrible. Bucs defensively. Famo, Andrew Adams. You dropped a key interception. Really, dude? Hit you in your hands. Kapui. You dropped it. Right here. I don't understand the Bucs secondary. I've tried multiple times to even justify. But at some point, man, I just can't keep fighting for the secondary. Like, I'm not saying they're bad and they're not good, but it's just they're somewhere in between. Good, but not good enough. It's always something lacking in the secondary, whether it's one game it's the safeties, then the other game it's the cornerbacks, then it's the slot guy. Like, what is going on with the secondary? Callaway, 6 catches for 112 yards? Drop interception? We got a top 10 defense. The numbers say that. What does your eyes tell you? Well, our run defense is top 5. Exactly, it is. But that's not the whole defense. That's part of the defense. The pass defense is still an issue. Even against a bad passing offense, it's still an issue. And you understand why some of these mock drafts or some of these mock draft needs, they got the Bucs picking a cornerback again. Draft needs, the Bucs need a cornerback. Go look at some of these mock draft team needs. D-line, cornerback sitting right up there. People still think we need cornerbacks. A couple of those blitzes that Todd Bowles did, we got lucky. Because the Saints actually blocked the blitzes a couple times. Taysom Hill just incompetent quarterback. And both those sacks that Taysom Hill had, that was on him. It was blocked. The Saints offense missing their left tackle and their right tackle, and the pass rush was struggling. You mean to tell me if Armstead and Ryan Ramczyk out, you would have thought Shaq Barrett would have had a hell of a game. JPP would have had a hell of a game. The Bucs pass rushers still couldn't get there. But the Bucs stopped the run, and you still took the loss. Taysom Hill was sacked twice because of him, not because the Bucs just got to him. Because if Taysom Hill had any skills, he would have had no sacks. Taysom Hill had time to throw the ball. He ran into a sack. He ran himself into 2 sacks. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Go back and watch the film. Matthew Miller, appreciate the $2 super chat. Imagine the impact Brown and Edwards would have had. I can't imagine that. I hear you. I understand where you're coming from. L. It's just that simple. Because now we can't do hypotheticals now. Because if you want to do hypotheticals, then I got to do that for every other team with major injuries. See, you can't have it just for the Bucs way. Because the minute I do hypotheticals, what about the Ravens? Steelers, Rams, Saints. You see what I'm saying? You see how that works? I gotta have hype. What about the Packers? If they was 100% healthy, they might be undefeated. You see, I just can't do hypotheticals because of the Bucs. If I'm gonna do hypotheticals, I gotta do hypotheticals for everybody. The Saints was missing Sean Payton. See how that works? Mopar Buck. Appreciate the $10 super chat. I am late to the party. Not sure if you discussed this, but Keyshawn Vaughn, Brate, 80, Darden, Johnson, Miller is not giving me top 5 roster vibes. So we can't get one TD with that so-called depth. Look, all season long, the Bucs got deep receiving core. Well, what happened to it last night? The Bucs got guys to catch the ball. So now I'm hearing, we wish we would have had AB. Like, come on, man. I thought we had pass catchers. The best group of pass catchers in the NFL. We got depth, right? Top 5 roster. Now I'm hearing, no, you can't have it both ways, Bucs fans. Can't do that. Play calling, folks. The Saints defense is better than the Bucs offense. They own the Bucs offense. The Saints coaching staff owns the Bucs coaching staff. Sean Payton is better than Bruce Arians. What part do y'all understand? What is it? What part are you not getting? Where is it? What am I missing here? Because I'm literally talking to you from a football 101 perspective. Sean Payton is better than Bruce Arians. He's proven it over and over again. The Saints coaching staff has proven they're better than the Bucs coaching staff. What's the problem? What? Don't get mad at me. It's on tape. It's on tape. It's on film. It's on film. No matter how you spin it, it's on film. They're clearly out coaching the Bucs coaching staff. What's the problem? Are you still in denial? How many games the Bucs got to lose against the Saints for you to accept that? Because if you don't accept the fact that the Saints are just a better coach team, then something's wrong with you. when they play the Bucs. When they play the Bucs, they're just a better coach team. Now let's get back to this defense situation with the Bucs defense. The Bucs defense did exactly what they needed to do against a horrible offense. Stop them. 3 for 16 on third downs. Oh, okay, another super chat. 813 Sports. Yeah. Third and 1 equals 50-yard bomb. I don't understand that. Why? The Bucs can do checkdowns all day and get 3, 4, 5, 6 yards a game every time and have 20 completions of less than 5 yards. Third and 1, they want to throw the ball 40 yards down the field. Why? Do y'all understand what I'm getting at with that? Third and 1, fourth and 1. No risky, no biscuit. Bombs away. So predictable. Who you think you're fooling? The Bucs been doing that since Dirk Carter days. When the Bucs get third and short, second and short, predictable. That's on Bruce Arians and Byron Leftwich. Bombs away on third and 1. 20-yard passes on third and 1. What did I tell y'all about the Bucs play sheet? It's easy to figure out the Bucs passing attack. It's easy to stop, to be honest with you. It is. And I'm just talking now. I got my football hat on. I take my Bucs hat off. Football 101. If I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm packing the middle of the field. And I'm playing tight man-to-man coverage on the outside. And I'm packing the middle of the field. You're not going to beat me with a bunch of shallow routes. You're not going to do that. Sorry, Tom. Outside. The Saints and the Rams are the only two teams that understands that. We're talking about football 101, simple football concepts. You take away a team's strength and you turn it into a weakness. You get rid of it. The Saints eliminated that crossing route stuff. Don't work against the Saints. It don't work. Period. Do something else. Okay. Incomplete. Sack. Crowd the middle of the field. I told y'all this. The Bucs offense is too simplistic. Where is the combination routes? Where is the scheming guys open? Why is it just run a shallow cross, run a check down, run a wide receiver screen? That's too simple against teams like the Saints and the Rams. It don't work. We've taken L's doing that crap. It worked against everybody else but those two teams. Because we keep losing to those teams. Because they have the talent. They have the coaching staff. The Bucs have problems against teams like that. Competent coaches with competent players. The Bucs are an average team. They're 4-4. I mean, in games like that, against competent head coaches, they're 4-4. Teams that got competent head coaches and competent players that understand what they're doing, the Bucs are 4-4. That's y'all ain't concerned? I'm concerned about that. Now, I'm not overreacting, folks. This is facts. The Bucs are 4-4 against teams with competent coaches. They're an average team. They're not world beaters. They're an average team. Go look at the scores. Go look at all the scores against competent coaches and players. And then go look at the record against teams that are really bad. Poor head coaching, lacking in skill and talent. The Bucs are undefeated, 6-0. But the minute you put them up against a team that can fight back, 4-4. What does that tell you? Well, I told y'all, I don't judge the Bucs off of beating bad teams. I judge the Bucs strictly on, at the level we at right now, I judge the Bucs on playing really good teams or competent teams. Third and 1, bombs away. I called it last night. I know I called it. And let me get back to this real quick before I bring you guys on. I can't wait to bring some of you guys on. I really want to know what you guys got to say, because I really spent I've spent an hour talking by myself because I needed to get this out, because I want the Bucs fans to understand I'm not super mad. Yes, I'm more disappointed than mad. Am I hyper emotional? No. I've accepted the loss as a Bucs fan, as a football fan. It's two different things. Two different type of thought processes. As a football fan, that's bad coaching. X's and O's. Football 101. You guys play Madden, right? You guys understand 3-3-5. You understand third and long blitz concepts, right? Zone blitz, man under, cover 3, quarters, cover 2, Tampa 2. That's the defense. You understand those concepts and what guys got to be at. You understand about zone blocking, power football, one cut and go type running schemes, right? You understand smash mouth football. You understand about dinking and dacking. I mean, dinking and dunking. Dinking and dacking. New England. Come on, man. Football 101. That was a bad game plan. Now, let me flip the script real quick. The Bucs O-line reverted back to, come get this O-line. Who coached these? The Bucs O-line? What in the world was that? Alex Cappa was getting his butt whipped the whole game. Tristan Wirfs, elite right tackle. What happened? Donovan Smith, you almost went back to 76. You played like 76 last night. Ali Marpet was okay. But as a unit, the Bucs O-line was putrid. What was that? You had Brady back there actually looking like he's 44. I mean, he is 44. Brady looked old last night. He looked old. The O-line had him looking 44. You know what I'm saying? For guys that understand what I'm about to say, is the wall is undefeated. Now, it's not particularly talking about, I'm not even going to get into that area, but Mother Nature or nature is undefeated. I'm not going to say the wall, because I think some of you know where I'm going at with that. So I'm going to leave. I'm not going to scratch that. I'm not going to scratch that surface. But Brady looked like, Father Time. He looked like 44 last night. The O-line couldn't block anything. But they did do some good run blocking in the second half. Brady looked 44 last night. That is the first game I've seen him look his age. The first game. That dude looked like he was having a hissy fit out there, throwing tablets, cussing at the Saints sideline, cussing at the refs. He was having a temper tantrum, a meltdown, like the Bears game. Actually, last night was worse. Remember the Bears game? He had a total meltdown. Last night, it looked exactly like that, but worse. I'm going to make up a new word, worser. That's a new word, worser. Last night was worser. He looked 44 last night. This whole entire season, he didn't look over 40. Yeah, in some moments, he looked his age, but I'm talking about the whole game. He's never played a game like that in a long time. Last night, he looked 44, folks. The throws was bad. The O-line couldn't block. So he was uncomfortable the whole game. He was uncomfortable. And y'all know how I feel about this guy. Poor Keyshawn Vaughn. Before I turn it over to the locker room real quick, before I open the locker room up, poor Keyshawn Vaughn. Poor Keyshawn Vaughn. When he dropped that ball, skeleton emoji. Yeah, it was like yikes. Did you see Tom say catch? He was cussing. He cussed at the Saints bench, cussing at the refs, throwing tablets, throwing a temper tantrum. Mopar Buck says, B.A. Leftwich Bowls' inability to adapt shouldn't be a surprise. They won a Super Bowl with their way, unfortunately. So in their eyes, execution is why we lose games. Our game plan is in all phases. In all phases are C-. It's a good point, man. Good. Appreciate the $20 super chat. They have shown a lot during the season, especially against games against competent head coaches and competent rosters. In a lot of moments, and I knew at some point it was going to bite us in the butt really bad. And last night it came back to bite us really bad. The inability to switch to plan B, the off and on switch. It's very simple. Watch, just it's very simple. Switch to another game plan. And the inability to adapt to the game. That game screamed, run the ball. You saw the passing game struggling. Guys were out. Guys getting hurt. Evans went out. Guy went out. Fournette got helicoptered, hamstring. And the Bucs still chucking the ball around. The Bucs did not adapt to what the Saints were doing. The Saints were saying, run the ball. You are not finna break records this game. You are not finna chuck the ball around and do these screens and these shallow crosses and these checkdowns on us all night. You can do it against these other teams. You want to do it against us. What did the Bucs do? They kept banging their head against the wall, expecting different results. And they wasn't getting it. The definition of insanity. The inability to adapt to a new game plan or to make adjustments. And then when they started running the ball, it was success. And they didn't do it. So shame on the coaching staff. Starts at the top, folks. This is on them. Yes, I'm highlighting the plays and the players and all that stuff like that. But this is on coaching, folks. I know I spoke about the Bucs, specifically in players and how they played and how they looked. That starts with the coaching. This is on Arians and Leftwich. You can't get mad at Todd Bowles. You can't get too mad at him. Yes, he let Callaway have his best game of his season, but he did what he's supposed to do and hold a putrid offense to under 20 yards total offense. So, you have to give him some credit on that. Now, you can't give him no trophy for that because the Saints' offense was horrible. Because Todd Bowles has his struggles too. See the Bills game. See the Colts game. See the Washington football team game. See the Saints game in week 8. Rams game. Cowboys game. He's had his struggles. But he did what he's supposed to do as a defensive coordinator with a limited H-back playing quarterback. Appreciate the super chat. Poor Keyshawn Vaughn. He is toasted, dog. Remember now, thank you for the super chat. Keyshawn Vaughn, our 3rd round pick, special teams gunner. They spent a 3rd round pick on a special team gunner. And then they tried to throw him in the game to throw him a pass. And he dropped the ball. I don't think he's going to get any more of those at all. So anyway, the Bucs O-line got beat like a drum. Cam Jordan found the fountain of youth. Marcus Davenport was all over the place. David Onyemata, Granderson, Holmes. It's like, what in the world? And the Saints secondary was on the Bucs receivers. Scotty Miller can't get open. He cannot. Scotty Miller is good for one thing. Scotty Too Hotty is good for a streak down the field. He's not good in running routes. I watched him last night and he was struggling. He was struggling to run a route. Yep. Scotty Miller can't run routes. He's a street guy. Go down the field. Sorry, folks, I'm checking in right now on my flight. I'm about to open the locker room up. Group B. Jesus Christ. I'm back. So am I good to go? Hello. So am I good? I don't know what happened. I dropped connection. I don't know. Anyway, let me open up the chat room. Or let me open up the locker room. I want to hear what you guys got to say about the game. I've done enough rambling. All right. The locker room is open, folks. Let's have at it. I know I'm ready. Let's talk about it. How they got me in Group B? Are you serious? Group B? So who gonna be the first one to come in this locker room? Because I know a lot of you are in the chat room. I want to see some new faces. I want to see some new faces because I really want to know. Because I know my regulars. I know what they're gonna say. I see y'all in there. I'm gonna give y'all a look. Give me a second. I want to see if I can get somebody new right quick. I just want to see somebody. I want to hear something because I know my guys. I know my two guys, Big Bucs and Lee. They get some good stuff. I know the dialogue gonna be fire. I know that. But I just want to see if somebody that hasn't been in the locker room want to come and talk about this game, because this is the game to talk about. You didn't want to come in the locker room in the other games, that's cool. But this is the game. I want to hear your thoughts, the after effect on this game. If you haven't been in the locker room, or if you haven't been in the locker room in months or years, I want to hear from a couple of you guys and gals. I just want to see. I know y'all listening out there. Don't be afraid. The locker room, everybody friendly in the locker room. Don't be afraid of the chat room. Don't be afraid of people watching you and commenting. It takes some guts to come on in this locker room and come out here and get on here live. It takes some guts. Look at me. I'm doing it. I'm a shy guy. So eventually, I'm going to get some new people in here to come into the locker room, because a lot of y'all in here talking, but you don't come into the locker room, which is strange. Anyway, let me bring on Big Buck.
What's up, man? You can hear me?
I can't hear you.
Hold on, let me take this off. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, man?
Hear you.
Let me leave. When we leave and come back out, come back in.
Oh, I'm gonna pull you out real quick. Fix your Lee. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
So why can't I hear you? I can't hear now. I can't. Okay, what's going on here?
Can you hear
why
me?
Can't I hear y'all? Hold on a second.
I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you now. All right, so I'm gonna come back to you. So I'm gonna bring back Big Buck.
Okay.
What's up, man? You
All
hear me
right.
now?
I can hear you now. I got you.
All right, what's up, man? Hey, man, I got a list I wrote down. I was so mad
Go
yesterday.
ahead.
Hey, well, let me start with addressing this first. If yesterday didn't show how much of a overrated coach BA is, I don't know what else to tell you, because his inability to adapt to a game plan is just ridiculous. I mean, it's been blatantly obvious since 2019. Why is it when Rojo get the hot hand, he always pulls it? Like, for some reason. Why does he do that? I mean, when Rojo got his first 100-yard game in 2019 against the Falcons, he kept pulling him and putting Peyton Barber in the game. He wouldn't let him finish off drives. So I couldn't understand that. And can we please stop this trying to get Brady the MVP and just play football? Just line up and use what works. If running the ball 40 times in one game for 250 yards to win, just do that. And I don't understand why they just keep chucking the ball around. I don't. And to make matters worse, you lost your top receivers, Godwin and Evans. Everybody know Evans got a teeny hamstring. It just tweaking. He gonna be gone. So I don't expect to see him back until the playoffs. I hate Godwin tore his ACL, but everybody's just up in arms. Oh, well, we getting AB back. I'm like, do y'all not realize what the game plan gonna be going forward? Double AB and take away Grunt and say everybody else got to beat us deep outside the numbers. And you think Brady's gonna do that the whole game? I don't think so. So, but what really gets me is how in the hell? I'm sorry. Let me stop cussing. I'm getting mad again. How is it that your head coach, play caller, your left tackle, right tackle, your left guard, there was another player that was out too as well. Your starting quarterback, your top receivers out, but you lose 9-0. And mind you, this no pass rush. I don't even give us 2 sacks because they got back to the line of scrimmage, even though they awarded it as a sack. We have no pass rush, and you was going against backup tackles. And mind you, when we went on the playoff run, the run last year in the playoffs, we went against backup linemen and exploited all those offensive linemen. We couldn't do nothing last night. I expected 4 sacks last night. Why is nobody talking about that? So, I mean, I'm blown. Gronk had 11 targets for 2 catches. I was blown by that. And that interception Adams dropped, oh God, I mean that hurt. So I mean, and what happened to Winfield? Like, was just a late game scratch? Because I
got
didn't
a foot injury. I think it was a foot injury or something, like a toe or something, like ankle or something like that. It was a late scratch.
Oh, okay. Because I was just like, man.
Yeah, it came out. It was like day before the game. It was like Wednesday, Thursday, and then like Friday. And I was watching the injury report, and then it was like Saturday. Game time decision. I'm like, what?
I came onto your stream late. Did you discuss special teams? Did you touch on that?
I touched on it a little bit.
Okay, I didn't, because that was really what got me yesterday. Special teams was horrible yesterday. I mean, I couldn't believe Suckup missed the kick, but I mean, I shouldn't expect everybody to be perfect, but he's usually money inside in that area. And it's just like the coverage that punt coverage is just, I mean, golly. Keith Armstrong, he's gone after this year. The play calling with Byron Leftwich is just like no biscuit, no risk. I'm like, hey, you got to open it up. And I've been saying for the last 18 months, Scotty Miller cannot run the route tree. Everybody's saying, oh, Scotty too high. He a 4-3. I said, okay, you can't coach 4-3, but can he run the route tree? Because if you can't run the route tree, that 4-3 means nothing. And like I said, he comes in the game, basically, Brady just throws it up, hoping he's going to catch it. But at the same time, it's just like, okay, if it's incomplete, we probably can pull the flag because they're looking for the flag every time it's an incomplete pass. And dead honest truth, I have to say this. Brady has 7 rings, and that's cool, but everybody want to overlook how his attitude is, like how he going over there cussing the coach out or talking trash to, like, you can't do that. That's just unacceptable because you're winning that. Everybody wants to overlook his attitude. Now, mind you, what if that would have been Sean Payton? You think he runs over there and says, you know, whatever? I'm not gonna say what he said, but you think if Sean Payton was on the sideline, he would have said that? Because if he would have, I know Sean Payton would have did this. He probably went back and said choke or something, you know. But I mean, Brady, if you're gonna talk trash, you should have been talking to Davenport and Cameron Jordan. That's who you should have been talking trash to. But I mean, Brady ain't no gangster. You know, they gonna protect him. You know, so that's why I think he does that.
I mean, somebody brought it up on one of the social media platforms. They say Brady's a great winner, but he's a horrible loser.
I mean, I understand that nobody wants to lose, but you still have to have respect for yourself and be an adult about it. I mean, y'all are grown men.
Don't be a jerk. Don't be a jerk.
I'm gonna just say it. Don't be an asshole. I mean, right. That's cool to say. Like, you a grown man. Only kids pout like that. I'm sorry. Like, you get paid you play a kid's game, but get paid a king's ransom.
Yeah, that was flying in New England, but it ain't gonna fly in Tampa. You don't do that. We don't roll like that.
I mean, but I guess my question to you is, man, I wanted to touch base with you again, like on the Chris Godwin play. Mm-hmm. The angles I looked at it very closely. I mean, I see your point where you were saying it's dirty. It can go either way because of the simple fact is, just hear me out. Say he don't go low and he goes straight in the chest and hit him. You know, so if it would have been a kill, like I say, a kill shot or hit like a Rodney Harrison hit, you know, the flag was coming out, whether he caught it or not. You know, I think if he would have hit him up high, I think they were going to call defenseless player. So I think that kind of puts a defender in kind of I'm not saying like I'm on both, like I'm 50-50 whether it was a dirty hit or not. Because if he would have led with his shoulder and hit him in his real cage and he would have went back, it could have been, the ref may would have saw it as a defensive player. Because you know they're gonna give you can't touch the receivers anymore in this era. You know, you mentioned going across the middle, you pay a price, but in this era where the game is wide open, no, they don't pay that price because everybody run across the middle freely with no fear. Which even though it is the pro, but I mean, go back to from 2011 back, and that wasn't gonna happen, you know. But coming forward, yeah, they can run across because they know they're gonna be protected.
I mean, I see. If you go back and watch, he didn't hit him in the ankles; he hit him in his thigh, but his leg got caught. I'm just saying, like, as a football player, you know, as a DB, that can tear a guy leg. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have where to hit the guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the tackle, the way he hit Chris Godwin was, to me, unnecessary. Like, you can hit him. He could have got him, you know.
Yeah, he could have
with the shoulder pad. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Fold him up. But you hit him down in the knee area, thigh area, and
I'm gonna say this is just the way the game is. Like, you hit them up high or you touch the head. They NFL don't want no dealing with this concussion stuff.
Yeah, and but that wasn't gonna be a headshot. That would have been.
I know. I personally, if that was me in that situation, I thought he was gonna run through him. That had kill shot written all day on it. So I was looking for boom, like the way he came in. I said, oh, he's gonna get laid out. I mean, Brady got a lot of guys set up last night. You asked me, but that's a whole nother conversation.
I think Ross got to stop, man.
Yeah, I mean, I just. Like I said, I just can't understand, like, the last, since the Atlanta game, you come out pass. Like, you run 10 to 15 plays that are all passes before you even run the ball.
That's horrible.
And I'm just like, why are we trying to run like this no-huddle offense or tempo-style offense like we in college? Like, I don't get it. That is not what we need to do. You don't need to run no-huddle with Brady unless we're in a 2-minute offense. Or the game is on the line. That's the only time I want to see him run no huddle. I mean, it's, quick pass status. I mean, yeah, that'll be extraordinary to see a 44-year, win the MVP, but, not at the cost of getting players hurt and stuff. So I just, like I said, BA's inability to adapt and, change the scheme up or adjustments in game is horrible. And BA, I mean, like I said, what is BA telling Byron Leftwich? Like, are they just saying, hey, run this or call this? So that just makes you wonder about certain stuff, man. That's really it, man. I mean, I threw, like I said, and I'm gonna end with this. I threw the records out the books, threw the records out because I knew it was gonna be a divisional game, but I didn't expect 9-0.
That was embarrassing.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah, yeah, that was just unacceptable. It caught everybody by surprise. It caught everybody by surprise. It really did. I bet you it caught some of the Saints fans on surprise too. To be honest, they can sit here and act like, oh yeah, no, they didn't know that was what happened. So
they didn't see that coming. I mean, I'm sorry, man. Taysom Hill is not a quarterback, and we lost to him. I mean, I'm not gonna say the guy is sorry because he's in the NFL. I'm not gonna call a guy sorry. Like, dude, you made it to the league. That enough in itself is extraordinary to me. You made it to the league and you're playing, but the dude is not a quarterback, and we lost to him. I mean, and last thing, Sean Murphy Bunting, he gotta get his stuff together because he's low key. Teams are starting to attack him. So I don't know. We gotta get it together, and
all right.
Y'all take it easy because I'm starting to get mad all over again.
All right, Big Buck. Appreciate your insight, man. You're always welcome in the locker room, man.
Oh, no doubt. Appreciate it.
So we got a couple guys in the locker room right now. We got Lee, we got Tobias, and we got RJ. I ain't seen you in a while, buddy. Where you been at? I haven't seen RJ in a minute. I remember him. He came in the locker room before. We gonna get to you because I'm gonna get to Lee and then Tobias and then you. So be patient. And the locker room is open, folks. I want to hear what you guys. I want to hear something from the Saints fans. I want to hear some of you guys. Y'all, hey, don't be afraid to come in the locker room, Saints fans. I see you in there talking, but come on in the locker room because I want to hear from your perspective as well from the opposing team. What did you see on your side, on your end with your team, and also how you looking at our team? So, what's up, Lee?
What's going on, brother?
Oh man, look, what it do? What the business is? Word on the street.
Bruh. Man, I echo what Big Buck said, man. You know, man, just when they came out passing 3 straight times, I said, we're going to lose. We're going to lose. We have to run the ball. I don't know what they thought this was. This is the Saints and the Rams, you said it earlier. The Saints and the Rams are competent defense, and we don't match up well with them. And if we're not creative with our play calling on the offensive side of the ball, we're going to lose and we're going to struggle. Defense did his job. Now, I mean, I wish they would have played a little bit more man because they don't have any good receivers. I don't know why they didn't. It's like they were scared of their receivers. Should have been more pressure because they had backup left tackles and right tackle. Should have been more pressure. But overall, the defense kind of controlled the game, set it up for the offense to really win. But the play calling on offense was terrible. I wouldn't say they got exposed. I mean, I think you got to have the talent on defense to do what the Saints did. And the only teams that have it is like the Saints and the Rams. But beyond that, you know, man, I don't know about Super Bowl now, bro. You can't have the number one offense and not score a point. You can't. I mean, how could you say that?
I mean, the Super Bowl is still a possibility.
That's out of the question now for Brady. MVP's that you can't get blank and you the MVP. You can't. And so now they should just throw that out the window. Okay, he's not getting MVP now. So let's just play ball. Let's ball. But man, it's issues, man. And you would think they'd be a little bit more creative with not having your starters in. You do a couple of wide receiver runs or something like that just to enhance the running game. It just blows my mind, man. I don't understand the play calling, period. I was fuming, man. But I mean, Big Buck kind of said things I was gonna say. It just don't make any sense at all.
I mean, first pass of the game, almost intercepted. Yikes. I mean, good God. First pass of the game. Like, you almost threw a pick. The first pass of the game?
Man, I knew immediately. I said, this game is over with. It's over. I thought it was a pick. And he wasn't even open. He just threw it. He wasn't open. And so it's like, man, what kind of no route, not scheming to get people open or anything. Like you said earlier, man, it wouldn't even create a play calling. They weren't scheming. They would just run your route, beat your man. And they hardly do that to get the Saints because they got good corners. And it just wasn't the defensive line. It was the corners too. I mean, they were getting time. The receivers weren't getting open. I mean, then there was instances with pressure where they overloaded the right side, like the first sack. They overloaded the right side. They should have caught a check to block that side. I guess but thought he was gonna get the ball out. I don't know, man. But man, it was disappointing, man. So now we almost got to win out.
We have to.
We got to win out. And you think the Panthers ain't gonna? The Panthers got a nice defense. I mean, they about the same. Offense about the same on as the Saints. I would say probably more explosive. But I mean, Cam ain't that. He ain't the same Cam. So I mean, he don't throw with touch or accuracy. So I mean, control their running game and then make Cam beat us. With our defense, Cam probably can beat us. If Taysom Hill was competent, this would have been a blowout. Like some of the throws he missed, some of them cats was wide open. Just missed them. If it was Drew Brees, it'd have been like last year. Am I right?
Yeah, it would have been pretty bad.
It'd been bad. But the fact that it was Taysom Hill, he can't throw accurately.
Right.
I mean, it'd have been worse than what we saw. The defense kept us in it, though. They kept us in it, but the offense didn't. I mean, he couldn't. I mean, oh my God, it was just. And then when we run the ball, they get away from it immediately on a good run. Keep running that thing. And third and short, what are we doing, man? I'm gonna get out of here. But third and short, fourth and short, that's all we do is check down, man. You can't check down, man. Huh?
Ooh. Hey, I'm letting you rock. I mean, like, look.
And when they throw it deep, the guy's not open. He's not open. I guess they're trying to get a PI. It's the only logical reason that they're trying to get a PI. But it don't make sense, man. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. If the Saints get a quarterback, we in trouble next year. We in trouble, man. Because I mean, all they need is a quarterback. If they had a quarterback, Simeon probably would have played. They would probably put up more points. That's just the way it was, man. But I'm gonna get out of here, man, because I know we got other people, man. I appreciate you, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
No problem, Lee, man. Thank you for coming in the locker room and expressing your thoughts, man.
My distaste for the play calling.
Distaste. Appreciate it.
All right, man.
All right, we got Tobias, RJ, and Jason. What's up, buddy? Long time no see.
What's going on, big dog?
Look, man. I'm listening, man. I'm letting y'all. I talked enough. I've did enough talking, so I'm listening.
All right. One thing y'all talk about the coaching staff. It's like they remind me of a baseball pitcher who only has a fastball. If the fastball ain't working, a great one can still get you 6 or 7 innings with a curve with a changeup. Mm-hmm. When people are blaming the offensive line, I blame the coaches for that because they running the ball helps your offensive line out. Because no matter if you get 1 yard of carry, the Saints would have still had to account for you just running the ball. Once they know all you're going to do is just pass, they coming at you. They're going to pin their ears back and just attack. Mm-hmm. Yes, I know they trying to goose Brady's MVP numbers like Russell Westbrook did. They letting him get all the rebounds for the triple doubles. Mm-hmm. But that's not. No one talks about regular season MVPs. They remember Super Bowl MVPs. The only MVP I even hear people talk about is Cam Newton. They can't let 2015 go. But the media, they still talk about that. But Leonard Fournette was bound to get hurt because they was working him to the bone. He was doing about everything, running all the carries, all the checkdowns. And you mean to tell me Rojo can't get some carries to give Fournette a spell? Just in case, what if like Fournette got hurt? At least you got a guy that at least has some kind of rhythm being in the game. Mm-hmm. But the Saints defense, here's the thing, right? And here's a college football comparison. The Saints, Alabama, the Bucs of Georgia. Can't beat them. No matter what, they can't beat them. And no matter what kind, and it's like the Saints figured it out like Nick Saban figured out Georgia. And of course I'm being a homer there. But anyway, but they fight the Bucs. And I remember what Joe Judge said last year. We don't try to confuse and beat Brady. We beat his weapons. And the Saints they're a proud unit. That defense is a proud unit, and they fought the Bucs on that one. They got nothing easy. They and see when people talk about, oh, get the ball out quick, get the ball out quick. You got to be open to get the ball out quick. You know, if you hold the receivers up, you got to pack that ball, and you get hit a couple times early. You saw Brady hold that ball. He starts second guessing himself, and it shows. And I know a lot of fans love Scotty Miller. The problem is, yes, he's fast, but he's about the size of a 16-year-old. He's too tall. Tyler Johnson is slow as molasses. Just keep it where it is. He's the number 4 receiver. Now you bump him up number 1, number 2. He's getting the best corner. You saw what happened. They put Marshawn Lattimore on him. He couldn't get open. And it's no knock on him. You need those players on your team. But you see what happened to the Saints receivers. Those guys move up a spot or two, and they ain't the same guys. And so I think they're going to be drafting receiver also. But in the defense, here's the problem. I think they should move JPP inside on passing downs. I think this is it for him. Like the Saints moved Cam Jordan inside on passing downs. They saw how he got in quickness against Kappa. I think, and the one thing that disappointed me about the pass rush is those are 2 backup tackles. And if anybody watched the Saints, those backup tackles been having trouble. Watch that Panthers game week 2, they were missing offensive linemen. Saw what happened to Winston. They was in there. And so I got a question, Shaq Barrett. You cannot keep a backup offensive lineman. Did you hear his name all night except for the opening introduction? No. And I just think what happens when people got so hyped up about bringing everybody back, this isn't college football where you're 18, 19-year-old, just mature and get better to get open and get their body bigger and stronger. This is an old team, people, on defense especially. And you'll get a lot of old man injuries. Because Vita Vea is the only guy on that D line that commands a double team. Think about that. No one double teams Shaq Barrett hardly. JPP don't get double teamed like that. Sue does it. And so if Devin White doesn't get home, they're cooked. But the defense did do their thing because they held their team to 9 points. And I know everybody will make all the excuses for everybody being hurt. If you the GOAT, you can't get shut out. Sorry. It's just the way it is. And I think what this team has to do is just be honest with themselves. Run the football. Why we got a guy throwing 40-something times at 44 years old every week? You open him up to hits. And one thing I want these fans to understand, because I know a lot of people get blinded by the wins. Over the past few years, Brady has declined. At the end of the season, his numbers have declined. And he wasn't good. Besides that, the Washington game, he was awesome in the playoffs. He wasn't good the other games. Drew, he didn't throw over 200 yards against the Saints in the postseason. He threw 3 picks in the 1 quarter against the Packers, and the defense won that. And he didn't necessarily light up the Chiefs. So I just want people to peep that out. And remember, it's the same guy because the Falcons a week or so ago threw a pick 6 on a screen pass because they were trying to goose up some numbers. So I just say we have to keep that same energy in criticizing him as we have criticized other players. And you're right. If the Saints had competent quarterback play, they would have blown this team out. And I hate to break it to y'all out there. If Jameis Winston was a quarterback last night, they would have blown the Bucs out. Because he could do what the Rams QB can do also, throw over your heads and stretch that field. And that's why you say they're a bad matchup against the Rams. because the Rams could throw over their heads, and their receivers are great after the catch. If you notice that, they have cooked Todd Bowles every single time they played him as a Buck when he got to the Bucs. That's a bad matchup. The Saints, in my opinion, the Saints don't respect the Bucs. They don't respect them. They're not scared of them. A lot of these teams are scared of the Bucs. They're not scared of them. And that means they're not scared of the most accomplished quarterback of all time. Because think about this. Ask y'all this. I know people love yelling at Bill Belichick. You think Bill Belichick would have run that game plan out?
No.
Belichick made some adjustments because they were getting their butts Saturday night, but you saw they got back in that game.
Right.
I just want fans to understand. I know I see people say, "Oh, they go to Green Bay." It was like last year. The Green Bay. What you gotta understand also, they caught a weather break last year too. The weather was actually unseasonably nice that game the Bucs played. What if it's freezing, snowing, and you got a couple of guys, Godwin's out, Evans' hamstring will bother him the rest of the year. You go double Gronk, and you got AB still. And Fournette, no telling how he's going to look. He says a hamstring. No telling how he's going to look either. And Gio Bernard's hurt. The Bucs had a lot of injury luck last year.
Not this year. I mean, I'll say it like this. And I got a couple of the guys behind you too.
I'm about to get out here in a sec. Yeah.
Look, we got to in order to get to the Super Bowl every year, we see this. You got to catch some breaks. Every year, every Super Bowl winner, they got the breaks in the regular season. Sometimes the ball bounce your way. Sometimes you get the call. Sometimes you avoid the injury bug. Every year is not the same. This is why I told Bucs fans when they ran around here talking about it's the same team. No, every year is different. Physically, it's the same team. The names are the same, but mentally, it's different every year. It's not the same thought process. You will not get the same approach every year. You're not taking the same steps every year. You're not eating this. Every year is different. That's why I'm telling folks, it's never the same year. I don't care how many guys you bring back. It's not the same team. The older you get, you don't get better in the NFL. The older you get, the if you can stay good for a couple years, that's great. Because every year, man, you got a fresh set of guys coming in. You know what I'm saying? Every year you got 22-year-olds coming in, 23, 24, 25, you know what I'm saying? And the Bucs are very old, on the defensive side, in the front seven. They got a few 30+ guys. And I'm telling you, the Bucs don't address this in the offseason, get younger in that front seven. All right, but
And I'll say this. I'll say this before I run. What people don't understand is the NFL. They could scout you and break you down more than college coaches can, because there's no practice rules and tape rules like that in the NFL. They got tape on these guys, especially the secondary. They know what they can and can't do. But I just want people to understand, when they say everybody come back, doesn't mean you're the same. That great Ravens defense, I think it's the 01 Ravens defense, the 2000 Ravens defense, that wasn't the same defense the next year. The 02 Bucs, they didn't make the playoffs the next year, and that defense wasn't the same. Just because you come back, those teams know how to scout you differently. They know your tendencies. And I just want fans to understand that, because this Packers team is better than they were last year. The Rams got a quarterback the coach actually trusts, who could throw over your head. And the Saints, they don't respect them. They beat them up. And I'm not getting excited over the Bucs winning these next 3 games, because, like I said before, they remind me of Oklahoma. Beat the mediocre teams in the Big 12. And when those SEC boys come at them, they fold like a cheap suit. So that's just what I see. And you won't see that to the playoffs, guys. And that's it for me. You have a good one. Have a great holiday with your family, man.
I appreciate it. Same to you too, man. All right, folks. Let me read this super chat real quick. I know it's been set up there for a minute. Mopar Buck with the $10 super chat. I'll get to you in a second, RJ. And Mr. Everything Bucks. In all fairness, what's our chances of facing one of those types of defenses in the playoffs? I hate to say it. But we're going to need to avoid the Rams and the Saints and potentially the Cowboys to repeat. We're going to have to face one of them. Unless if the Saints have a fall off and this was their Super Bowl and they just lose the rest of their games, they will not making it, right? The Rams are most likely going to make it, right? If somebody can beat the Rams, like take the Rams out before we get to them, that's great. That's great for the Bucs. But I advise the Bucs need to finish number 1. Just based on what I'm looking at, they need to find a way to the number 1 seed because in some way, for somehow the Saints don't make the playoffs. That's good for the Bucs. Those are the best 2 options. Because I'm telling you right now, both of those teams, we don't want to see them. Look, I don't mind seeing the Rams in the NFC Championship game at home. But I don't want to see those guys in the first round. Or that 2-7, 3-6 matchup, or that second round, or the next matchup. Or now I don't mind facing the Rams in the NFC Championship game, but not the 3-6 matchup or the 2-7 matchup. So we're gonna bring on appreciate the super chat, more pop up. Let me find that super chat. So we just gotta relax. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, RJ, man?
Well, what's going on with you? See, I won't go off.
You got the Patriots. You got that Patriots hoodie on, man.
Look, you already know. You don't got no confusion about who I'm going with, though, bro.
I get it.
But anyways, going off of what the last dude said, what I feel need to happen is Bruce Arians need to start criticizing Brady again. When he was criticizing Brady last year, Brady was getting his stuff together. When he was criticizing Brady, Brady got on the entire team. Right now, since he won a Super Bowl, Brady's his golden child. And he don't need to act like that. And I can say one thing about Belichick. Belichick always kept Brady, I wouldn't say in line, but he always kept him where you part of the team. You're not a superstar. And that right now, I think that's what Brady is thinking right now, because Bruce Arians just talked about you running the ball and you want to run the ball and losing the ball.
That's a great point there. That is a great point you just brought up there. I have yet to hear anybody bring that up, but that is a great point because in New England he was in check. It wasn't no commercials and all this extra stuff. It wasn't none of that.
I mean, I love the freedom of Brady. I love seeing his other side, but at the same time, bro, he's all over the place, ain't he? Yeah, Brady just don't seem like he team first right now. He could say it on the screen, but when you look at his play, it's not team first. I mean, I look at his play and it's just like you said, it's all over the place. If he was really thinking about the team, he'll be like, okay, you know what, we don't need to keep throwing the ball as much. I could give Rojo, I could give Lenny some runs. I could do some screens. Like they barely did any screens yesterday. I mean, I'm looking at the Bills game, and the Bills was winning based off a lot of screens and a lot of, the quarterback running the ball. But at the same time, no screens, no tight end screens, no nothing. And it go off to another point, bro. I think the Bucs started that game off scared.
That first play with throws, man. Are you serious?
Yeah. When you start off with that many throws like that, they just go to show that you're scared. I mean, I don't care if their defense is good at the run. We good at the run. People still run at us regardless. So why you even go show them that? You show them that. They chest is even more puffed up now.
They're hyped up. Yeah, they got the secondary to do it.
So you was basically just playing into their hands right there.
Playing right there.
We know you're not about to run the ball. We know you barely gonna probably use Godwin because we took that out the last game after he had 143 yards, so it was gonna be focused on him. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, bro, how you just I just don't understand it. You just think they had no game plan after the Saints. I'm gonna put it like this: after the Saints game, they started getting better with the two high safeties. And this game, it just seemed like we just about to go completely backwards. All the scheming, all the stuff we done, we just gonna throw it out the window and just keep going down the field, down the field, down the field. And I'm sitting there and I'm just so mad and just like, why are y'all constantly going down the field like y'all don't have coaches? Like y'all ain't been planning this for the past, week. And y'all telling me y'all ain't had nobody on them?
One of the things I was looking at with the Bucs route concepts, they were too simplistic. It was just like somebody brought it up earlier. I think it might have been Big Buck or other guy. It was no route combinations. There was no scheming guys open. It was just basically run across the field and run away from your man. That's not going to work against man coverage. You got to find a way to get guys open or peel off, rub routes. You know what I'm saying? Kind of scheme, because the Saints were not playing zone. They was like, forget that. You're not going to carve us up and we playing zone. That ain't going to happen. We're going to read the guys up and you're going to beat us throwing the ball, but you're going to throw tight windows. And Brady, he was this. Zach, you know what I'm saying?
He was down some throws. Like the one that really got me is the one that the Gronk threw. The play literally went through dude's hands before he even turned around.
Gronk had a weird game.
I've never seen Gronk do nothing like that. That would have been a touchdown right there if you'd have caught it.
Right. It was one of those games like we didn't get the bounces, we didn't get the calls. We didn't. Sometimes you need that to help you. Like sometimes you need to get that. Like you can't win. Sometimes you have to get that type of call. Like it could have been pass interference, like the one play that when Malcolm Jenkins was guarding him, you could have called pass interference, but we didn't get the call. Sometimes we get that call. We've seen it. We've got that call before. So when the ball don't bounce your way, you don't get the calls, or the play don't go your way, you got to be able to adjust. And somebody brought it up earlier, the inability to adapt. You see where the game was going at. You played right into the Saints game plan.
Man, look, that's right there going off what you said. Byron Leftwich, I'm saying it right. Byron Leftwich, he schemes completely off of talent. He don't scheme like say like the last game. We need to run the ball against the Saints. Or we need speed kills the Saints. I seen speed, like when speed kills the Saints, Diggs killed the Saints. Not his route running was nice, but it's just the speed. Whenever they play a certain team, let's go with the Bills. We seen what the Patriots did to the Bills. They came out running the ball, and then all of a sudden, the rest of the game, they got one good run on them, and then the rest of the game, they started throwing the ball. Why are you going away from works? You keep doing that until they stop you. It was what I'm not understanding. What Byron Leftwich, he even same thing with Rojo yesterday. I understand. I looked on social media. He supposedly got gassed on something from running the ball, but Rojo was doing good. Lenny came out. Rojo started doing his thing. Now we stopped running the ball. Or we was running the ball good, and then we didn't do a play action on it.
In the matter of fact, in that first drive, and I'm going to leave it like that. The first drive, they went play action, and you didn't even run the ball. How the hell do you go play action on the first drive and you didn't even attempt to run the ball?
You can't do that.
You
can't do that. You can't do that at all. Any team, especially like a team like the Saints with the defense that they have, they already play it twice a year, so they already know about the run. When I'm looking at the game yesterday, I'm really paying and I'm focusing and attention onto it, and I'm looking at everything. Okay, the Saints is keeping everything in front of them. They already got the 2-man high, but now they just put Davenport back in the zone, and they keeping everything in front of them right now. They're not scared about what you about to throw downfield, because right now, Mike Evans went out the game. Chris Godwin went out the game, which I still feel like he targeted that man knees. I don't care what nobody see. I watched the replay, and I showed my girlfriend. And I'm from New Orleans. I despise the Saints.
Hearing your voice, yeah.
I do not. How do you just go after this man? I understand they took Jameis Winston out, but it wasn't like Devin White was pulling his man back down like this just to get him out the game. He intentionally went after this man's legs.
Could have hit him thigh, hip. I mean, you could have hit him hip. You could have hit him ribs. Like why the knee? Why about the knee area? I don't know.
But the thing was, to me, okay, look, they was going after the knees the entire game. That wasn't the first time I seen it. They kept doing it. They kept doing it. They kept doing it. And they kept doing it over and over. And you can't tell me you don't know how to tackle, because the perfect tackle was the tackle that we seen on Gronk. That was a perfect tackle. Dude did not have to go after his knees. I understand he was almost the same size as Gronk, but that was a perfect, I can't get the word out. That was just a perfect all-around tackle. He didn't have to go low. He didn't have to go high. It was just a nice tackle, something I would love to see around the league. Y'all understand sometimes you can't get these dudes down, like Chris Godwin. I understand why he went for the knees, but I hate that he did that, because Chris Godwin killed them the last game. And it was not about to let Chris Godwin do that for this game.
They played very aggressive. They played like they was like, look, we gonna fight y'all. Y'all ain't gonna just do us, y'all ain't gonna do it like y'all did these other teams. Y'all ain't gonna be chucking the ball around the field. We gonna bang with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know we own y'all already. So they basically, in a nutshell, they sent another message to the Bucs and the fan base. Y'all ain't nothing. Like, y'all little boys. Like, y'all ain't on our level. They in the locker room dancing as usual. You know what I'm saying? Like, they play with so much confidence, it ain't even funny. Every time they play the Bucs.
Just to go for what you said, think about last year's playoffs. How did the Bucs win all the playoffs? They out physical. They bullied. They just manhandled everybody. Like, you just see Alan Marpet just pushing people like all around the field, and just this game is just
soft.
We just gonna let them do. And I keep seeing Saints players do this to them every time they get up. They just kept on pushing them. But the Bucs players is just like, okay, we're just gonna let that happen. But last year playoffs, they wasn't having it. They need to get that back.
Right.
We could scheme as much as we want. We could get all the talent back as much as we want. But if we don't have the heart and the physicality to want to win this game, then it's not gonna happen.
And
I don't know if it's.
I'm gonna say this last piece on my end. The Saints won this game with that quarterback, with Taysom Hill. That's the confidence they had. They could care less about Taysom Hill at the quarterback. They, in their brains, we're gonna win the game. We're gonna win the game. That's how they approached it. Just don't turn the ball over. We got you. Give us 3 points. Give us 3 of them things.
Yep.
We good. That's how they came in. That was the mentality.
Yep. Taysom didn't have to do nothing. All he had to do is give us such and such points. Once they seen they had 6 points and they seen that the Bucs couldn't do nothing, we ain't worried about nothing. We about to do this all day. We're going to keep the ball in front of us. We know what they're about to do. They about to keep going down the field. They about to sometimes run the ball, which, like I said, I don't understand that you could run the ball on the Saints. If the Giants, if the Jets could score a touchdown on the Saints, the Bucs should be able to score a touchdown on the Saints.
Right.
That just goes to show you, to me, I mean, Leftwich, you good. He probably won't ever hear what I'm saying, but you don't ever deserve a head coaching job. You too vanilla. And like I said, to me, he schemes off of talent more than he just schemes off of, what the other team is going to do or what the other team's weakness is. And that's why I kind of try to tell a bunch of people, because, they don't understand what a lot of what Belichick did. Belichick go for your weakness, and he attacked.
1 minute, 45 runs. The next game, 30 passes. Another game, 30-30. Next game, 47 rushes. Next game, 42 passes. Like, you don't know what he's attacking. Like, it's always every week. They don't have a game plan. The same game. They have a game plan for that team every week. It's a game plan specifically for you.
Exactly.
Not for the Bills or the Dolphins or the Jets. Okay, play the Jets. We know the quarterback young, pressure, and we're going to run the ball because they're young. They play the Bills. We're going to stop their passing game, and they can't stop. They specifically scheme to that team. Whatever your strength is, we're gonna take it away, and we know how to scheme throughout the game. And
Right.
that's where Brown and Leftwich got to make the jump. You can't just be running basic routes, crossing routes, and wide receiver screens and check downs. You need to have some type of rub routes, some wheel routes. You know what I'm saying? Some in cuts, some deep curls, skinny posts. Like, where is these layer combinations of route concepts?
But
So
that's the thing. I was seeing that the past couple weeks.
not this
And
game.
what you notice is look at the Bills game. The Bills game, it was just throwing all kind of things at the Bills. The Bills, remind you, have the number one passing defense.
And
Well,
offense too.
pass
Top 10 in both the offense and defense.
passing defense. And y'all just went at them. And I'm looking at all kind of exotic stuff that y'all throwing at them, and then you get to the Saints, and then it's like, okay.
They fold like little like they fold up, like they don't know what to do. Like we don't know. We big brother Saint. Like come on, man. I'm gonna leave it like that. You know, look, I got a couple other people behind you, man. Look, we can do this all night long, man.
I just want to say one thing: the Bucs are not gonna make it in this playoffs if they keep playing scared like they are right now. They gotta come out and they gotta just understand it. And I've been saying this for the past couple of weeks. Every game is a playoff game for them right now. Everybody giving them their best, and the Saints go give them twice their best. So I just hope somebody hit us. Hope Saint Brady hit us. He just got to get off his ego shit right. I'm sorry. He got to get off his ego stuff right now. He got to really rally this team behind him. Bruce Arians, keep doing what you're doing, but they have to be more physical. They got to have some heart, and they just got to want it. Right. You got to know that everybody want it twice as much as them, and they got to want it full time as much as them right now.
Right, that's true. Anything else you want to say, man? Before I got a Saints fan behind. Well, I got a couple people behind, but I got a Saints fan I want to kind of bring. I want to hear what they got to say.
Oh no, bro, do your thing. Merry Christmas. I'm about to go, chill and all this stuff right here,
Yeah. Like, okay, go ahead, chill, man. I appreciate you coming on here, man. Great insight, man. Great point you made about the Brady ego thing, and he's kind of like he just seems like he's a little bit just all this stuff going on, and got to rally the troops. You know what I'm saying? You're the leader on the field, and he's been around for a while, so he knows what to do. So we'll see what happens, man.
I hope so. Because usually, like he have Belichick to get him in line, and Bruce Arians, he got to do it right. So Bruce Arians, if you're looking at this right now, bro, get Brady back in line. I don't care what you got to tell him. You can tell him his feet stink. Brady runs off of criticism. That's it.
Good
other than that, you have a good night. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you and Happy New Year to you, man. Bless.
Be cool.
He made a great point, folks. Got to rally the troops, man. This is a bad loss, so we got to see how the Bucs recover. Mr. Everything Buck and Grizzlo, I see y'all in the chat room, but I want to bring the Saints fan on. They've been waiting for a second, and I want to see what they got to say about the game. Saints fan, welcome to the locker room. Behave yourself. Don't start no trouble. Won't be no trouble.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Hey, how y'all doing? Look, I've been subscribed to you for a little minute now since last year. I want to say when you came on TJ channel, like before the playoffs, and I really like your show. So don't think I don't know football because I'm a woman. I'm letting y'all know that now. Born and raised in New Orleans. I speak of facts, not emotions. I watch everybody, not just the Saints. I study all the teams and not just in the NFC South. I love football, born and raised. So, anyways, I'm gonna speak on the Saints. Start off with the Saints. Like, we are a very prideful team. The city matches the team. We've been if we want to make up excuses, we have a lot of excuses, and not you because you keep it real, 100. I'm speaking of anybody. If we just gonna be straight honest, if we gonna make up excuses, we have a lot of excuses. We've been through a lot this season with us, starting off the season playing on the road for 2 months straight. We didn't have a home game due to the hurricane. Came in the season with no wide receivers. All of the receivers we have is undrafted, came from the practice squad, except Traquan. But Traquan, he didn't start the season off with us. He was hurt. He didn't come back until probably like, I want to say the game we played y'all.
Yep.
In New Orleans. Michael Thomas, he didn't start the season off, and that's already a mismatch right there. You put Michael Thomas on the field, he already have to cover. You got to cover him for two guys, so that's one. And it wasn't meant to be like Marquez Callaway number one. He's not a number one. He's more of a 3 or 4. So that already messes it up. Because if you have Michael Thomas, then you could leave. Marquez not on number ones and stuff. So we already started off the season with no wide receivers, and we had Jameis, which, covered up for a lot of things because he have the capability to get the ball downfield. So that covered up a lot of things we wasn't able to do without Michael Thomas and no wide receivers. On top of that, Jameis gets hurt. And when Jameis gets hurt, it's like everybody started getting hurt. We have had like 13 starters on IR. And it's already hard to win in the National Football League healthy. So, that's a lot of adversity right there. And a lot of people want to say next man up. Next man up only goes so far. That's just the same because the next man not the best man for a reason. Right. So that right there alone, we already going through a lot of adversity. Then we lose AK. He's like probably 70% of the offense now since we don't have no weapons. We go down the stretch where we lose 5 straight. But you're never going to hear us, say, well, we injured. You're never going to hear them say that. And you're never going to hear the people on TV say that. But you're going to hear it for the Bucs. So I'm not going to accept the excuses that the Bucs was injured because we came in the game with our backs against the wall. I didn't expect us to win the game, but I didn't doubt I didn't doubt us out because I know what that defense gonna do. It was
I think you're breaking up.
Defense could hold up. You can hear me?
Yeah.
I got a call. I'm sorry. But other than that, talking about the game, like what makes the Saints a good matchup? The Saints, the Saints are prideful. They feel like I'm better than you. I'm better than the team that's in front of me. I'm better than my man. I'm going to win my one-on-ones. And if you feel like you could beat me, you have to show me you could beat me. You can pull out the paper and say, well, yeah, on paper, they win. On paper, they better than us, which it is. You all have a better roster than us. Even with Gronk, I'm sorry, not Gronk, but Godwin and stuff coming out the game, what you all still had left was way better than what we had on offense. So you could say all day, okay, well, they went on paper, but how the Saints play defense, they really about that. They island boys. They feel like, yeah, y'all say y'all could beat us, but you have to show me that you better than me. I feel like we better than you, and that's how they play. They have always played like that. They real confident, and they use adversity as adversity. Can't try to make up excuses about the injuries and not say it, for the Saints neither, because if anything, the Bucs were supposed to win that game. If you have Tom Brady on the field, that's already should be 14 points right there. He should be able to lead somebody to a field goal or something. Taysom Hill, we know Taysom Hill not a quarterback. He's horrible. He's a great athlete, but he's not a good quarterback. But we don't have anyone else to turn to. But we feel like as long as we keep the ball out of harm's way and we don't mess ourselves up, our defense got us. So we play like we confident. We don't come into the game saying, oh, we injured. We don't use that as an excuse already. We come into the game saying, if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to earn it. We're not going to lay down for nobody. Even after all of the losses that we went through, we still, a lot of people say tank and all that. We too prideful for that. We're going to go out and you're going to have to earn your win. That's just how it is in New Orleans. The city is like that. The city is resilient. If you ever been down there, nothing could really break us. Nothing could break us. And the Saints is the same way. They feed off of each other. They feel like, we better than the Bucs. And even though y'all beat us in the playoffs, we had already been beat y'all 2 times. And then we get in the playoffs and the defense, that's who won that game for you all, not Tom Brady, because we outplayed Tom Brady. That our defense outplayed him, but y'all defense had the advantage over us, with Breeze throwing the pick. But we held that L, and we still gonna come back, and we still gonna feel like we better than y'all. The first game, I felt like we was gonna win that game because we had Jameis. And I know what Jameis got in New Orleans. I seen what Jameis could do. This game, I wasn't, like I said, I gave y'all the win. I was like, the Bucs probably win, but I didn't count the Saints out because I know what that defense can do, basically. So how I look at it, styles make fights. Styles make fights. When the Saints and the Bucs go against each other, records go out the door. It's strictly you versus me. I can't throw no tricks at you. You can't throw no tricks at me because we have seen each other so many years. We know what each other gonna do. We division foes. We don't look at y'all as rivals, just being honest with you. Like, we don't have a problem against the Bucs. This beef just came about, I guess, if you want to call it beef. But we don't look at y'all as rivals. The Falcons have held that title for a very long time. We respect the Bucs, because we know you are, we know y'all talented as of right now. We respect y'all, but we don't respect y'all, if that makes sense. So we have played, we had Breeze for a long time. We feel like Breeze our GOAT. We're not scared of Tom Brady. We feel like we had a GOAT. We had a GOAT too. So if that's your GOAT, you got to prove that you a GOAT against us. We don't care about we don't care about what you got. We don't care about, what weapons y'all have. We don't care about none of that. And that's just how they play, basically. They are very confident. Not saying they don't care, but in regards to confident level, you can't scare me. We have to play between the white lines. And Demario Davis said that. The last time when Brady said something about defense, like chasing cats or something, and they asked him on the Good Morning Football or something, they try to get a reaction out of him. But like he said, you gotta play between the white lines, which is true. You could talk about it, but you gotta be about it, and you can't make excuses. You gotta hold that L. We all gotta hold our L's. When we take the L, we can't make up excuses as to why, because the other team got excuses too.
Right, that is true. So like I said earlier, in the going into this game, not many people pick the Saints to win. Let's just be on paper. Taysom Hill starting with all the injuries that you guys have. The game was set up for the Bucs to just clearly win the game, and the Bucs folded. And somebody mentioned in the chat room, the Bucs folded up like a Ogami, like they just a paper plane, And it to me, as a Bucs fan, that was not a good look on national television. Sunday Night Football, the stage is ours, everybody's watching, and the Bucs gave another stinker against the Saints. And as a Bucs fan, I know many of us in here in the chat room and in general, we're kind of tired of seeing it. And the Bucs, in order for the Bucs to make something happen, they got to match the Saints' intensity, and that was one of the biggest issues in this game, that the Bucs didn't match the Saints' intensity. The Saints came out ready to play. They punched us in the mouth, and the Bucs didn't punch back. We kept folding up. So, at the end of the day, we got to hold the L. We talk a lot about the Saints and back and forth, and when we win, we talk a lot. But when we lose, we can't sit up here and make excuses. So, look, I give y'all the credit. Y'all beat us 6 out of the last 7 times. So apparently, there's an issue. There's not a rivalry. Until we start winning games consistently against the Saints, that is not a rivalry. A rivalry is back and forth. And until then, I don't want to hear about the Saints is our rival. No, we're not their rival. You know what I'm saying? So, congratulations on getting the dub. Now, look, I'll give you credit. I can eat some crow as a Bucs fan. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got the dub. But hey, next year, we got y'all. I promise you. We're going to get you. We're going to start winning some games. I promise you. I'm telling you. Just hold that.
We coming. We not really, this seat. we coming next year. This season, we gonna, we know we probably ain't going too far this season. We got a lot of injuries. We got a lot going on. But what I can say, like, the people in the chat, y'all gotta learn how to stop being fans and speak off facts. Like you gotta stop speaking off emotions and speak on facts. Y'all be like the Saints, they sorry. We could take that this season, but y'all know the Saints have always been a very well coached team. They've been a well coached team. They play good. We just going through a lot this season. So if y'all want to say, we sorry, y'all know the reason why. If we was fully healthy, we'll be right there up there with y'all. You feel me? But we're not gonna take what what's from y'all. But show us our opponent. We not scared. So. But y'all the champ, so people chasing y'all. You feel me? Y'all the champ, so people chasing y'all. So that's all I had to say. Just the Saints, we if you want it, we coming. We not scared.
Look, I let you come on here into the locker room. The locker room can be hostile, and I wanted to give another voice from another platform or another team to come in here and give the Bucs fans another point of view from the actual winning team, because usually we don't get that in this locker room. People from the winning team coming in here and giving a humble response to the Bucs fans about their team and getting the dub versus coming on here being disrespectful and laughing and cussing. I appreciate you coming on here, Saints fan. And you're more than welcome to come back. This locker room is always live. So anything else you want to say before I move on to the next?
No, I don't know if we kind of it's moving kind of slow, so I don't know if you had already said it, but that was all. I appreciate you. I be in your chat a lot, so
okay.
I'll be in your comments.
Appreciate it. Thank you for coming in the locker room. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming in the locker room. All right. So let's get back to it. So we got Mr. Everything Bucs. We got Who Dat Nation, another Saints fan. We got Grizzly, one of the shooters, and got Aubrey. So that's the next 4 people we got coming up. What's up, Mr. Everything Bucs?
What's going on? What's going on?
Look, man, you coming out. You coming behind that. You coming behind a Saints fan in the locker room. What you got to say about that?
Man, I had to eat crow all day at work with these Saints fans. All day. 7 o'clock this morning. It was hard. But you know what? We deserved it. But you know what? One thing about it, though, it taught us one thing. Come next season, got to be more physical on the defense. Got to get younger. But I'm going to start with Mr. Patrick Edward Brady first. I think you need to take his name away for the rest of the year. Either call him number 12 or Patrick Edward Brady after that performance from last night. Last night showed your inability as an older quarterback, even though you're still decent and good. Instead of you been taking the pennies like you have been usually doing early in the season, you went for the dollars this game here. I've seen 3-4 different plays on drives. Fournette open right there, the first down drive. You going downfield to a receiver, double covered. I'm looking at the play where Tyler Johnson got the man shadowing right behind him. Godwin right there open. Didn't throw to him. You throw the ball to Tyler Johnson. I'm like, what are you looking at, Brady? If we could see this from the quarterback view, from the telecast, I'm like, what are you doing? It puts me back in a state of mind when, back in the day when Edgerrin James challenged Peyton Manning with the Colts. Who's the head coach? Who's the offensive coordinator? You or Peyton? So I'm asking B.A., Leftwich, and Brady, who's the head coach? Who's the offensive coordinator? Who's calling the plays? To me, your offensive coordinator should not be down on the field. Your offensive coordinator should be up in the box where he can see the field better. Why do you need to have your head coach and your offensive coordinator on the same sideline? Makes no sense to me at all. At all. You should be able to survey and see the field. And by Byron Leftwich being a quarterback, you should already know how to read defenses. You should already know what they should be doing. You should already be looking at, okay, they coming out doing this, they doing that. Oh, I see such and such. Making your adjustments on the fly. How can you make your adjustments from the sideline on the field? You can't. Now, you want to be a head coach in this league here. How can you be a head coach in this league here and you can't even manage the offense with talented weapons? How you going to manage another franchise with less weapons or better weapons? You're not going to be able to do it at all. Now, let's go back to number 76 again.
Donovan Smith, he got his name back, man.
Oh, no. We took his name back last night.
No,
we took it back.
No, on this channel, he got his name back.
All those sacks you gave up on your side getting beat up over there? Come on, bro. You got to let them hang sometimes. But then I'm going to also say this, and I agree with everybody else. When you come into a game like this, you got to come in with that confidence. You got to come in with that nastiness. You got to come in with that rah-rah. You ain't seen that last night. You didn't see the same confidence when you played the Bills, when you played the Colts, that you knew you was going to win this game. And y'all came in there thinking, oh, it's the Saints. We okay. Nah, the Saints came in there and say, you're not going to do this. Not this year here. You might be going to the playoffs, but we're going to make sure you go into the playoffs limping. You ain't going to just walk into the playoffs. You're going to earn your way into the playoffs. Oh, so we start talking about seedings and stuff like that. Dallas already got us on the chopping board, already said, we'll see y'all in the playoffs. We talking about matchups. Dallas might be that team and say, hey, we owe y'all one from earlier in the season. That you talking about you don't want to play the Rams, you don't want to play Arizona or Green Bay, you better be watching for us. Because I know they're gunning for us also. And they're going to continue to keep winning games to make sure they play us. Now, we move to the defensive side of the board. For me, I don't understand why we're playing a 3-4 defense. In a way, I think we should have revert back to the 4-3. Have Sue and Vita back on the same line next to each other. Put JJP back on the defensive end, or either Tryon. We need some more edge. We need some more speed. We need something else coming off that edge right there. If you can't do it with 4 linebackers and get pressure, okay, drop down to 3. Something got to give. I know sometimes they run this little different defensive packages or whatnot. I'm like, come on. But I already knew we was going to be in trouble in the secondary when Winfield wasn't there. I said, oh, this is about to be a long night in the secondary with Winfield not there. Winfield seemed like the most only comparable defensive DB that we had with a football IQ. I'll be questioning Carlton Davis. What are you thinking? Sean Murphy Buttons, why are you giving him so much room? Play up on him. Make him work going down the field. Don't give the man 15 yards, especially if you know he a burner. You want to try to catch him in full stride? No, you want to jam him at the line. Don't let him get in full stride. Come on now. We for people who know they play football, corner, wide receiver, first thing you know, you don't want that receiver to slow that corner to slow you down from the jump. You want to try to get already in full stride. So when that quarterback see you downfield and you open, he already putting it there. Come on now. This ain't nothing new. But then Todd Bowles, what are we going to see out you when we play the Jets? Your return home game in a way. Because
I thought it was the Panthers, Jets, then the Panthers.
Yeah, it's the Panthers, Jets, then Panthers.
Right.
Even though Carolina, the only thing that scares me about Carolina is Cam's ability to still be a mobile quarterback. We still have not shown that we can handle mobile quarterbacks as of yet. Every mobile quarterback we don't have gave us problems. Todd Bowles, you got to tighten up. Every mobile quarterback. It doesn't matter who he was. If you can move your feet, Todd Bowles had issues with it. But that's my 2 cents on the game.
Appreciate it.
BA, you got a lot of work to do over the next couple of weeks.
Right.
Because if you want to stay in control of this ship, you got a lot of holes to patch in this boat. A lot of holes.
Appreciate it, Mr. Bucks, everything, man. You funny too, man. I like that.
All right, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah, that he made some good points, man. But I'm not going to take Brady's name away. I'm not going to call him Thomas Patrick Brady. I'm not going to call him number 12. I'm not going to do that. I mean, come on now. That's one of the GOATs, one of the best players of all time across all the football eras, from the 40s all the way to the current state of football. You got to put him up there. There's a lot of guys that can be in that same room with Brady going back from the 40s up until the current football era. So he still got his name. That ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got another Saints fan. Who that nation? Got to talk about the game. Then we got Grislow, one of my shooters. Definitely want to hear from Grislow. And we got Aubrey. So let's get it. Who that nation? What it is, man. You heard me.
All right, what's going on, my brother? You can hear me?
Man, I can hear you loud and clear.
All right. I'm going to start off by saying this. There's no way we should have won that game last night. There's no way. I seen a lot of Tom Brady being, like, I'm the GOAT, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. He had a lot of checkdowns on a lot of third downs and fourth downs that he didn't take. The defense, we play y'all, like our scheme and our personnel, we match up well with y'all.
Right.
Y'all defense done everything it was supposed to do. Everything. You know what I'm saying? And to pick it back off of what a lot of people were saying, it's like, if you have the GOAT on the field, I know y'all went down with some key injuries, this, that, and the third, but to not score a touchdown, that doesn't look good at all. I mean, at all, bro. Like, that really shocked me, because going into the game, we got 2 tackles out, backup quarterback, practice squad wide receivers, the head coach down. I'm like, oh, it's about to be a blowout. I'm a Saints fan. I'm like, oh yeah, they about to wash us. And to see that last night, I don't know what to say, bro. I'm shocked as a Saints fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm shocked as a Saints fan, bro. But like I was saying, Tom Brady let his ego get the best of him last night. And as far as how some people in the chat was saying that your offensive coordinator, what was his name?
Byron Leftwich.
As far as Byron Leftwich not like scheming players open, it was basically strength on strength. They was like, all right, we're gonna come in, we're gonna do what we've been doing, and we're gonna match, you know what I'm saying? So in his mind, I'm thinking in his mind, he probably was saying, like, all right, look, this is what we're gonna do, this is our identity, and stop us. But the thing is, we just stopped it. You see what I'm saying? But I'll go on the record and say, if one of those guys, if Mike Evans or Chris Godwin would have stayed in the game, the outcome would have been different. I'll say that. The outcome would have been different. Even though, because our offense wasn't able to move the ball. I mean, we got a couple drives where we got on the other side of the field and everything, but we wasn't able to come out with touchdowns. And all the way up until we scored that last field goal, I'm like, oh, we're about to lose by 1 point. They're going to come down here, get a good drive, 7-6. You know what I'm saying? Rob Gronkowski dropped a couple passes. The backup running backs dropped a couple passes coming out the backfield. Y'all defense was – I respect y'all defense. Levante David and Devin White. Yeah, them boys some gunners over there. I respect y'all front seven and everything, but Tom Brady, that's how y'all lost the game. Tom Brady. If Tom Brady would have just been like, you know what, I'm gonna take this little check down, get another first down, and methodically move the ball down the field, and then once I get on the other side, then I might take a shot down the field. He got frustrated. We rattled him early, got frustrated, and he wanted to prove because we already beat y'all. What? That was our full-time beating y'all, and in the playoff game, Tom Brady didn't play too well. If I'm not mistaken, did he have 200 yards pass?
200 yards. I think it was 200 or 199, either one. But he didn't play well in the playoff game against y'all last year anyway. So
he probably thinking like, man, his whole career, he never had a defense that played him like that. So he done built himself up like just the game here, and it was set up for y'all. It was set up. Sunday night football at home to win the division. You know what I'm saying? But like my who that sister was saying earlier, the Saints is a prideful team. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of young, talented guys on the defensive side, and they're like, all right, you Tom Brady, you know what I'm saying? But we respect you as far as you being the greatest quarterback, but when we're in between these white lines, you're going to have to show me. You see what I'm saying? And that's the approach that they took. So, but, I mean, as far as for y'all moving forward, it's not too really many other teams that match up personnel wise against y'all like how we do. We, you know what I'm saying, at every level. As far as like defense, the first level, second level, and third level. We got cornerbacks that play man to man. And yeah, they had a lot of calls that could have went this way, could have went that way. Another thing to point out what I was saying about Tom Brady, when he fumbled the ball, Tom Brady, get down, throw the ball away or something. Tom Brady let his pride get in the way, and that's what ultimately cost y'all the game, because the game was winnable. The game was for y'all. It was for y'all to win. I don't know how we pull it out, but we did. I'm glad we did, but we was not supposed to win that game last night.
Well, my response to that, that was some good points you made. And I keep beating it. I beat this I beat it like a drum. There's about 2 or 3 teams that match up well against the Bucs, and we play one twice a year. And time again, it continues to show it manifests itself on the field. The Saints are just a better coach team. They're put together better to play against the Bucs. I believe the Saints and the Rams are the only 2 teams that are put together from top to bottom, every level, that can play with the Bucs offense. They can basically we can rock with y'all. Y'all ain't finna just run over us like we just some measly old team. You know what I'm saying? And the Bucs struggle against teams that are aggressive in their secondary, and they got a pass rush.
Right. And another thing,
you got to have that combination. You got to have both of those. You got to have a secondary.
You can't have one without the other.
Right.
The reason how we give y'all problems, or Tom Brady, if you can disrupt the pocket with just sending 4 and cause, if he has 7 defenders in the field, he gotta, make the right decision. But if you could just send 4 and wreak havoc in the pocket and make stuff collapse around him, that's when he's not at his best. And that's what we've been able to do to y'all since he came over. Now, granted, y'all won the playoff game, which I go down to feel or believe, as if, not to take nothing away from y'all, because y'all went on to win the Super Bowl. The Jared Cook fumble, that changed the whole complexion of the game.
Oh, it did.
That changed the whole complexion of the game.
Absolutely.
And after that, that's when Breeze started forcing throws, and you know what I'm saying? Y'all was jumping in front of routes, and the miscommunication between him and Camaro. Devin White picked it off and took it, you know what I'm saying, to the other side. When he fumbled the ball, that changed the entire complexity of the game right then and there. And another thing, let me point this out. I don't want to be on too long because I know you guys, your thing going on, but y'all secondary, your cornerbacks, they got to tighten up, because Marquez Callaway was an undrafted free agent for us last year. And Taysom Hill, I love Taysom Hill. I love the energy he brings to the team in his gadget role. As far as throwing the ball like a pure pocket passer, he's not it. He's not it at all. He's not it. Now, my thing is, if y'all was to meet up against, like you said, the Rams or a quarterback or Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs, you know what I'm saying, that's going to game plan to get around your front seven, you know, getting the ball out quick, like quick 3-step drops and this and that. And the running game is decent this year. It's pretty decent with I can't think
AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones.
Yeah. They've been able to run the ball a lot this year, and the defense is a little better. But if y'all were to play a team that a quarterback of Aaron Rodgers or like Dallas, nah, I don't think that it. I mean, I'm not gonna go that far, but Aaron Rodgers or like a Matthew Stafford that can, throw the ball, that's gonna stand upright in the pocket and know they might take a hit just to get the right throw. Y'all might be in trouble. If Chris Godwin out for the season, Mike Evans, I respect look, I don't like Mike Evans, but I respect him. You know what I'm saying? As far as like football wise. But Mike Evans with the calf injury, Leonard Fournette, the hamstring, Leonard Fournette with his hamstring, stuff like that lingers. Like, that's not something that just goes away. You know what I'm saying? You might come out, you might feel like you feeling better, and then you re-aggravate it or you make it worse. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what lies ahead for y'all. Y'all in the playoffs now, but I don't know exactly what lies ahead for Tampa Bay.
Well, it's gonna get interesting, man.
It is
going down really to the last game of the season. Seeding. It's all about seeding now.
I'm listening.
It's all about seeding. It's all about. I'm gonna keep saying this. We gotta get out. We gotta stay away from that 3 seed. Got to stay away from that 3 seed because that first round matchup was going to be a good one. It's not that. Stay away from the 3 seed. Stay away from the 4 seed.
Yeah.
Stay away from the 5th seed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Because that first round matchup, you can see the teams that's kind of like it's either if y'all went out, y'all will have the 7th spot. You know what I'm saying? 2 and 7, 2 versus 7. That's no man. You know what I'm saying? Right. 3 and 6, it can be the Bucs and the Rams or possible 49ers. That's just a bad matchup. I technically I want the Bucs to get the number 1 seed. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But see, as far as us moving forward, I mean, we have the defense, but offensively, with the injuries and all that, we might make it to the playoff. We might match up well against whoever we face in the first round. We might make some noise, but I don't expect us to go for. I don't expect us to go for. Not this year, no. Because I'm a Saints fan, but I'm a football fan first. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be watching the playoffs if my Saints make it or not. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a fan of football,
Appreciate it, man. Is there anything else you want to say before you get out of here?
Just want to say, man, happy holidays to you, bro. And who that?
Happy holidays to you, man. Be safe out there.
All right, bro. Take care.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this is a really good locker room session today. We're getting a lot of insight from a lot of people. So we got Grizzlo and we got Aubrey, the last 2 people in the locker room. Let's see. Let's get these guys in here. And Grizzlo, you there?
What's going on, bro?
Man, look, man. It's a lot of conversation in the chat room, a lot of conversation in the locker room right now.
I bet.
Fans come in, voicing their opinions and bringing some facts to the table, and it's great conversation today, especially after this game. This is like probably the best locker room session I've had this season, especially with a game like that.
Yeah. So I was at the game, season tickets, but some part of me wishes they were sold this game and I didn't go. Probably could have made some good money off of that. But first of all, I just want to say, prayers to Chris because, ACL done for the season. And it's his contract year, so this does not help his case at all.
I know, man. That's why you got to get paid. I've been telling people, man, get paid, man.
It's terrible. So hopefully we resign him, but I completely understand if we can't because, he deserves every penny that he gets offered. So, and if we can't give it to him, I want him to get the bag. Also, yeah, first and foremost. The one thing I did like from this game was, obviously I got to say it, when Mike jumped up against Marshawn Lattimore and caught that ball. I gotta say that. You know, of course we get Mike involved and he gets injured. So yeah, just our luck. Which hopefully he might be back this week, but I would say rest him probably, maybe this week. Yeah, rest him. But I hope he can come back like Jets game, maybe play a couple, see if he can get that 1,000 yards again. Obviously, rest him first. That's like thing, but like I would love for him to extend that record, keep it for himself. You know what I mean?
Right.
I guess I'll start with the defense because I got kind of a lot to say. Shaq is probably the most inconsistent player I've seen in a while because you're out. No, just for me because like you're out 2 starting tackles and you don't really do anything. Just like from what I saw, like his name was like never called. Like up the middle, I think with blitz is like we got sacks, and it's like you're out 2 starting tackles, and like you can't make anything happen. Like I don't get it. That's just me. And then like with JPP, it's like I get that he's playing hurt and he brings like a lot of energy to the team, but I feel like if you're playing hurt, that kind of gives us like a little disadvantage. I feel like Tryon should get more reps than him on that side. Like if he's playing with like a torn rotator cuff and all that, how's that helping us? Like, you know what I mean? How does that help us? He's like hurt. Why don't you just maybe rest him these last like 3 weeks, see if he gets a little bit better for the playoffs or something, right? And to put Tryon in and get Tryon reps, so he'll be good for he'll be ready for the playoffs. Like, you know, it's just I didn't understand like too much of that. That's just me though. And poor Levante, of course, like the end of the game. Oh snap.
Like,
hello?
Yeah, I can
you hear me? Sorry about opened different app on accident. Paul Levante, of course, in the game, they'll take him out and he gets a foot injury. Like just our luck. Like dang, it's like don't got too much left. But other than that, defense gave us a chance to win the game, but you know, can't score. Like I don't understand how we couldn't score, to be honest with you. Like it sucks because every time the offense like came out there, like we never went past the 50-yard line. It bothered me so bad. Like just never. Like we start at the 30 and like barely make it to the 50, and I was like at like fourth and out and all that crap. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like that was like my main thing with the defense is like Shaq, like where was he? Like they're down 2 starting tackles. Like I understand like any player that's in the NFL is good because they made it there. Like you know what I mean? But
well, hey, hold on, $19 million, fam. We paying you.
Yeah.
We paying you a lot of money, man. A lot. You had one good season.
Yeah, like $19 million and you can't do anything against backup tackles? Like
but this really? Is a problem. Like, but you said it though. This has been an ongoing situation with Shaq Barrett. Yes, he got 9.5 or 10 sacks, but it's like they all come in like bunches. They don't come throughout the season. They come in against bad tackles.
Yeah, he'll have like a 3-game stretch where he'll get sacks, and then like for like the next like 4 or 5 games, like it's like nothing. You just never hear from him. It's like get some pressure. I want to see you back there. Like there's no way to tackle that whole game like kept you out. Like for me even touching Taysom Hill, like I feel like there's just no way for me.
Backup tackles.
Yeah, the backup. It's insane. Like just get back there. You should have got 1 sack. I was planning on you get 1 sack at least last night, and then just never got back. Tryon got back there though. I saw Tryon. He was making pushes, and then like that's what I say. Like JPP. JPP's playing hurt. He shouldn't be playing more snaps than Tryon. That's just my opinion.
I think you know the Bucs had a good idea. The last couple of games before this game, they were playing Tryon in number 98 more. Fresh legs, younger, fresh legs, and it was actually working. And for some strange reason, they don't want to give. When JPP came back, Tryon snaps decreased. For like, what the heck was that about?
Like Tryon did not. If anything, deserved more snaps from the way he was playing, not like less snaps. Wasn't it like I don't know how long ago it was. Like I think it was our linebackers coach. He said the guys with the higher salary just get more snaps, not because of performance. Which I think that's crazy to me. Like you have a higher pay, but if you're not producing as much as like the rookie, then I think the rookie should start. That's just terrible coaching in my opinion. But you know, But yeah, that was pretty much it for the defense. You know, they kept us in. Jamel Dean hurt again. Of course he is, because like I guess it was illness. I don't understand why our secondary just can't play together like one game. Like I don't get it. Why is that so hard? When someone goes down, when they come back, another person goes down. Richard Sherman, I don't even know what happened to him in practice. I guess.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, because he was talking in the media like he was going to play, and then I just don't know what happened.
Old man, he chasing the ring. Richard Sherman's here for the ring and the ring only.
Well, from the way it's looking, we might not get that ring, but if we have to versus the Saints or the Rams in the playoffs, because
right.
none of our secondary could probably stop Cooper Kupp. That's just my opinion, but Cooper Kupp's a beast. He's the reason why I'm 12-2 in fantasy, but that's not the point. But TJ got the first pass versus Lattimore. Oh yeah, Tyler Johnson. Yeah. Well, I guess while we're here, go to offense. This was my problem. Like, okay, when we were at the game, like a lot of fans were saying, Tom has no one to throw to, blah, blah, blah. And I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, Tom had no one to throw to. But it's like, Tom didn't have anyone to throw to in New England, but he put up points. Why couldn't he put up points this game? Like, why? I just don't get it. And then they were like, you're throwing to nobodies. I'm like, well, Tom,
Nobody?
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
So wait a minute, hold up. So at the game, Bucs fans were screaming, nobody. So now Tyler Johnson, Scotty Tuhati, Cameron Brate, number 80, and Gronkowski and Ronald Jones are nobodies.
Well, apparently, I hope they were new Bucs fans. That's all I got. I hope they were just Tom Brady fans, because apparently it's them, bunch of like nobodies. Especially like the people behind me. It's like, who's he throwing to? He's got no one to throw to. I'm like, there's no excuse. We should be able to go down and score. Granted, Ryan Suckup did miss an extra point, so but like it's not like we would have won with that extra point anyway. I mean, not that extra point, the field goal. Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm. So but that's what they were saying. They were saying nobody. So I'm hoping they're just Tom Brady fans and not haven't been here very long.
You see, the thing about what happens with some of the Bucs fans is they want to play both sides of the game. They want to play both sides, like, oh, we winning, oh yeah, this and that, and then we lose. It's like, oh, you ain't got nobody. You can't play both sides of the game like that. You can't do that, Bucs fans. You can't.
Was Scotty a nobody in the halftime game of the championship? Like, was he a nobody then? Right. When we versus Green Bay? Yeah, Tyler Johnson, he wasn't a nobody then.
Tyler Johnson against the Saints last year in the playoffs on that 3rd and 11 catch. He's a nobody then.
Exactly. That's exactly.
You can't play both sides of the game.
Yeah, and I was like bringing up another point. Of course, bring up Jameis. Chat room about to get mad, but Jameis 2 years ago, his number one was Perriman and Isaiah Hyman, all these people that we didn't know, and Jameis put up points. I'm just saying. Granted, it wasn't against the Saints defense because like they're like our worst. They're like our worst defense, like if you know what I mean, like to go against. But I'm just saying, Jameis like put up points with like Hyman. We didn't even know who that guy was until like the Texans game. And I'm just saying he put up points. And just like Brady didn't really have any receivers like his last year in New England, but he put up points too. I'm just saying, is Tyler Johnson, Scotty Miller, and company not good enough to put points up with? Like, I just don't understand. Or is this the Saints secondary that good? You know what I mean? That good. And then Gronk. When we needed Gronk, he wasn't there. He wasn't there.
He got awkward. That was a weird game.
He had like what, 10 targets and like 11. What, 2 catches?
11.
Catches. Well, that don't help.
Let me shine a light on this and to the Bucs fans and Saints fans. And I think the Saints fans already recognize this, but I mentioned this before. In the Bucs game in week 8 against the Saints, what I noticed what the Saints did, and I kind of figured they would do something like this. So what they did was they didn't play a lot of 2 linebackers or 3 linebackers. Mm-hmm. What they did was a very smart thing and I said this in the pregame, and I said it in the game in week 8 against the Saints. The Saints had PJ Williams playing safety, and they had Marcus Williams playing safety. And they moved Malcolm Jenkins down to the linebacker position. Somebody that can cover and it has speed. That was a huge difference between the Saints defense, how they play us, and how these other defense play us. Because they have a guy they can shift down from the secondary to play the linebacker slash nickel, whatever you want to call it, rover linebacker, strong safety slash linebacker. And that affected Brady. It affected him passing to Gronkowski because every play, Gronkowski had Malcolm Jenkins on his tail. And the Saints have the flexibility. I don't know if anybody caught this, but I caught it. On obvious passing downs, which was basically 75% of the time, they had Malcolm Jenkins playing Gronkowski. They didn't have no linebacker, no Pete Warner, no Zach Bond. Demario Davis played him in there now, but mostly they said, you know what? We're not going to have 2 or 3 linebackers in the game consistently. We're not going to do that. Not doing that. So that was the thing that the Saints did that frustrated the Bucs offense because the Bucs offense is predicated to the middle of the field. So they dropped Demario Davis in the middle of the field. They dropped Malcolm Jenkins there. They have PJ Williams sliding down to the middle of the field. That's how he hit Chris Godwin coming across the field. So they made the perfect adjustments to combat the Bucs crossing routes and the Gronkowski routes. It was easy to defend. I said this. And I don't know if any Bucs fan picked that up, but I saw it and they did it last night.
And you got like the normal football fans who are thinking now like, oh, Malcolm Jenkins versus Gronk, that's an easy matchup. But like when you think about it, Gronk's slow and Malcolm Jenkins got some speed, and Malcolm Jenkins can cut that ball and probably get an interception or at least a pass breakup. So when you think about it, it's not the biggest mismatch like most people would probably thought that would have been.
You gotta think about it. You put a linebacker on it, a pure linebacker, too slow, right? You put a smaller cornerback like a nickel guy, he's too little. But if you got a 6'2" safety that got some speed, that's a problem for Gronkowski because he couldn't separate from him. If you notice, every throw now Malcolm Jenkins had a pass interference, but most of those throws, Malcolm Jenkins was right there. Even the balls that Gronkowski dropped, Malcolm Jenkins was right there.
There was that one play. I think this was like the first time we were like in the red zone. I'm not sure, but you remember fourth and 1, and we go bombs away because that's the smart thing to do. Go bombs away on 4th and 1. Don't QB sneak it. Don't like even try to run it. We'll just go bombs away. And he threw it to Gronk, and everyone was calling like pass interference because I think it was pass interference because you never turn around. He was like grabbing on him, and at the same time, it's like, why didn't we just like QB sneak there? Why we go bombs? It's like what you say every week, Isaiah. Why bombs away on 4th and 1? Like, where's the ratio that tells? Where's the ratio that tells you that works?
And what's so great? It's so predictable when it's 3rd and short, 4th and short. Everybody knows the Bucs going deep, and the Bucs refuse to run the ball or check it down to an easy first down, keep the drive going. Like the run with Keyshawn Vaughn. That is not the call that you want to call a running play with Keyshawn Vaughn, our 3rd round gunner on special teams.
Oh man, bro, Keyshawn Vaughn. Oh, that dude. That's another thing. It's like Rojo was running. I think Rojo was doing pretty well from like when Lenny got down. I think he was running pretty well. He was catching balls too, and then they take him out and put Keyshawn in for a couple. I'm like, why? Is Rojo that tired? Like Lenny could play the whole game without Rojo coming in and be fine. Does Rojo get like that tired to the point where it's like Keyshawn Vaughn has to come in? Because Keyshawn Vaughn is a big downgrade from Ronald Jones, in my opinion. Like Keyshawn hasn't. Well, I don't know, because like Keyshawn hasn't really shown me that he can like he can't catch the ball. Rojo can, I guess, somewhat catch. I guess Rojo has like his off, but like that one play, that check down, where he completely just like missed that ball and that was right in his hands. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why? Everyone around me was like, take Keyshawn out like immediately after that. Like, why is he in? Because it makes no sense. Like, do you really just don't have that confidence? Like you said, do they even believe in Ronald Jones because they put Keyshawn in over him? Is it that? Because Rojo was even doing that bad, so it's like, why take him out? What's the problem?
Keyshawn, I'm never gonna like that pick. I'm never gonna like him. You can't convince me to like him. I'm sorry. I'm nothing personal against him, but I just don't like the pick. In the 3rd round, you're for a 5th round, 6th round back.
I'm sure he's a great guy, but like there was probably plenty of other people we could have got over Keyshawn Vaughn.
Or we could have got the defensive tackle from Missouri, or Galmore from Oklahoma, the defensive tackle from he's playing good on the Cowboys right now in the middle of defense. Like, We could have drafted better players. I mean, a better player in that position in the third round. So,
I guess BA saw something, but the rest of the fan base didn't see anything in that pick. But it's amazing. It's like with BA too. I don't know who's calling the plays at this point. To be honest, it could be Byron, it could be Tom, it could be both. Tom might audible. I don't know who calls the plays. Maybe even BA gets in there sometimes. But I just don't understand how you get out coached by a dude who's on his couch like miles and miles away. Like not even at the game, you still get out coached. Like that makes no sense to me. Like how? Like that's like the worst like coaching matchup ever for BA, and he still can't win. He still can't win a coaching matchup.
What Bucs fans need to understand what's so scary about this. The Saints have literally given everybody the blueprint, and they've been doing this. But the problem is nobody's not following the Saints blueprint. So I wonder if every team is going to play tough, tight man-to-man and crowd the middle of the field. We're going to see.
That could work. Like, just as long as we don't get the Rams or the Saints, we should be good. Because even now, I still like our chances against like Green Bay or like.
I like the Green Bay matchup. I like the Cardinals matchup. I like the Cowboys matchup way better.
Yeah, I mean this week wasn't too bad because like I was like looking, I'm like good thing the Cardinals lost. Mm-hmm. Good thing the Cardinals lost. Like everyone was picking the Cardinals to win that game, just like they picked us to win this game. But if the Cardinals didn't lose and we had the 3rd seed, oh my goodness, like that. Because like if the Cardinals went out and then like we went out, we probably would have stayed with the 3rd seed and then probably would have got the Rams or the Saints again. We don't want that. 40. You don't think we'll do well against the 49ers?
I think we'll do better against the 49ers than the Rams.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you're probably right about that. But it's a good thing too.
They physical. Oh, they are so physical. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they got Deebo Samuel, a monster right now.
Their defense is aggressive as hell. My God, they got pass rushers. They got an aggressive secondary that lay the wood on you. They got a Fred Warner that, like, you know what? But I still would rather play them. I would rather play the 49ers. I would rather for the Bucs play the 49ers than the Rams. But the 49ers can beat you up. They can beat you up.
Yeah, this is why we're glad too that we have the tiebreaker over the Cowboys too.
But we don't have the tiebreaker over the Rams.
No. The Rams could take that number 2 seed from us if they went out, can't they? If we went out and then they went out,
they can't because they got to win the division.
Okay, I get it. And then we win.
They can get it.
I get you. And then if we win against the Carolina next week, we clinch the division, right? Right. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was like pretty much the whole game. It's just like it was like that thing I told you in Chicago, like how we started like on our 25-yard line, but we never went down the field by ourselves. We had like good field position and everything. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's another thing too. Field position. Everyone was getting mad at like Bradley Pinion because of like those bad punts like towards the end of the game.
Special teams hurt us again. Yeah. I told y'all about that freaking special teams. I told y'all. Look, man. Look. I talk about it was a horrible special team showing across the board. We didn't get anything out of the special teams. Anything.
And we didn't help him either. We didn't help Bradley Pinion. He punted probably more this game than he has like the whole season, it felt like. Like Bradley Pinion punted a lot.
But the Saints special teams was so much better. They made field goal kicks. Gilkey, the punter, he punted very well. They had a good return. Like, why can't we get the same thing?
Because we have Keith Armstrong. That's probably why. It's because of Keith Armstrong. When Keith Armstrong was at the Falcons, was their special teams good?
Horrible.
It was horrible too.
Yep. I talked to the Falcons fans already. Y'all got Keith Armstrong. Good luck with that.
Good luck with that. So do you think he should be gone? Hopefully, by then.
He needs to go.
Think so?
He needs to go.
He needs to go. You think if you rather have Byron or Todd Bowles stay, who would you want to stay? Do you think Byron Leftwich should go over Todd Bowles? Or
Bowles is ready again. The only thing is he's looking for the perfect situation. Mm-hmm. He's not gonna do that Jet situation again. He's not gonna.
Yeah, he don't want another Jet situation. That's not good for him.
So I don't think he's gonna go to a team with a rookie quarterback. He's gonna go to a team with a veteran quarterback. So
yeah, and I don't see Byron coaching up. Like they want Byron to go to Jacksonville. I don't see him coaching up Trevor Lawrence at all. That's just me though. I don't.
He needs to go to a team that's already kind of like built.
Like built.
Yeah, Broncos would be a good match for him. Get a quarterback, and the Broncos got weapons like the Bucs do. 2 tight ends, 3 receivers, 2 running backs. So I think the Broncos will be a good spot for Etheridge.
Prayers out to Teddy Bridgewater too.
I know, man.
I didn't see it, but I saw him on a stretcher. I was like, oh, I didn't know what happened.
Man, he just can't catch a break with his career. But he got paid though. He got paid.
He got good payment for for all that, so that's good. But yeah, that was like pretty much the main focal point of the game. You know, should have sold the tickets. Maybe if we have a home game against the Saints next year, if we have an away game against them, we lose. Probably just sell the tickets. You know, save myself some grief because we haven't beat the the Saints in a regular season for like I can't even remember.
2 years now.
2 years. 2 years?
Yeah,
we didn't beat them with Jameis, did we?
We won 1 game with Jameis against the Saints.
1 game with Jameis?
Actually, Dirk could have went 3-3. So wait a minute, we won a couple against the Saints when Jameis was playing.
Dang, Dirk Cutter beat the Saints, and Bruce Arians can't.
Yeah, it's weird. That's a weird stat.
Because BA is miles ahead of Dirk Cutter, but like he can't. Like what do we do in the film room when we're watching film against the Saints? Like, do we like say anything? Do we like talk? Do they like talk to each other? Like, do they just like take their notes?
They fold up like an origami paper, man. Against the Saints, they fold up, man. They fold up. They don't. Big brother Saint, and like they just like that. What's the thing now? You too little. That's what the Saints look at us like. You too little.
Yeah, it's like that one girl said. They don't see us as a rival. It's the Falcons.
They don't show us no respect. But we got to earn it. So moving forward, you know, Brady maybe come back 1 more year, and then after that, it's Kyle Trask. You know, but we got to do something.
I don't know about the Kyle Trask. I'll have to see. I'm a little nervous. Kyle Trask.
Now remember, I want everybody to keep in mind, Kyle Trask is on a 4-year contract. He's a 2nd-round pick. He doesn't get a 5th-year option. He got 4 years straight up. So 1 year is already gone. And then Brady come back next year. That's 2 years gone. And then, you know, might get him for 2 years solid. You know what I'm saying?
They got 2 years to develop in actual games.
That's not good.
So they didn't really. I don't think they thought that through too well. But hopefully, practice reps do something. Hopefully, because he's always inactive. They still think Blaine Gabbert deserves that second spot in case he goes down.
If you understand Bruce Arians' history, he's a veteran type coach. He doesn't like to play a lot of young guys. He doesn't. On offense, especially offense.
Likes to play Keyshawn Vaughn though.
Nah.
But
somebody made a comment about so let me ask you this last question before we kind of wrap this up. The Bucs O-line. What was your take on that?
I think this was probably one of their like worst games, like this season, definitely against the Saints. Cameron Jordan got off his vacation and got some sacks. That's what a lot of Saints fans are saying, that Cameron Jordan finally got off his vacation, got sacks, and then now they think he's gonna go back on vacation because I don't think he really like gets a lot of sacks like this year, but definitely against us he got like 2. I didn't see where he lined up. I don't know if it was like against Tristan. Did you see where he lined up like most?
Well, the Saints was doing a lot of bowling ball stuff, like the twists and stunts. They was doing a lot of that, and that was confusing the Bucs O-line. They was rushing so aggressive. Like David Onyemata was controlling Kappa and Ryan Jensen pretty good.
Yeah, I did see Kappa was having Kappa did not have a good game.
Night. Oh my gosh.
That one dude, Bucs fan said Donovan Smith, like he had I didn't think Donovan Smith had like too bad. Maybe if Cam rushed him and I didn't notice, but
Davenport whenever he had to block Davenport, he wasn't doing good. Like 1-on-1, he wasn't doing good against Davenport.
Davenport's insane when he's healthy.
He's a monster, man. My gosh. Just not healthy.
But yeah, they definitely had probably one of the worst games of this season, definitely against the Saints. But no, we all every point of us except for the defense, which It's kind of crazy. I wish they got a turnover, but they did leave only 6 points up. And if you leave six, like if you have only 6 points in a game, you're most likely going to lose. But we just couldn't score. Just couldn't do it.
Right.
Taysom Hill escaped a lot of pressures too. We managed to get him on some plays, but Taysom Hill can run, and we don't have that speed on the edge unless it's like Tryon or Devin White, which is crazy. We can't chase him like that. Like with JPP and like Via and all them, we can't chase these mobile guys, and like that's what I'm scared of. If like we have to go against the Washington football team, Taylor Heineke, mobile quarterbacks destroy us every single time with those legs because we just have no speed. It's like we need a draft. We got to draft linebacker or like a D lineman with some speed, some like you know what I mean.
That's true.
Yeah, you gotta get some of that. But hey, it was good talking to you, bro.
Oh man, Grizzlo, man, you one of my shooters, man. We got one more person in the locker room, man. That's in the chat. So appreciate you coming stopping through, man. Giving some insight on the game, man. It was rough.
I saw a lot of trolls like towards the end of the game. I managed to catch y'all when like you were going on your rant about the game afterwards, and saw a lot of trolls in that chat.
Yeah,
I saw a couple of timeouts by the other shooters.
Gotta put them in timeout, man. Like what the hell?
Yeah, you can't come in here acting all crazy. This Isaiah shit. Isaiah get you.
Yeah, I don't play that game, man. My shooters don't play either, so yeah, we good.
Nice talking to you again, bro.
Appreciate you coming through, man.
See ya.
So we got one more person in the locker room, man. Locker room was live tonight. Aubrey, man, you're closing the locker room out tonight, man. You the last guy.
Yeah, man. I don't know if you remember last time I was on here, I talked about culture, right?
Yep. I remember that conversation.
So
it stood out.
Right. I made a joke maybe a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, man, I'm tired of Brady. And I wasn't really too big on him coming here because I knew what the atmosphere around him. You know what I mean? He's like his own little solar system. You feel? So I think I always was kind of shaky on BA. I ain't really been talking to too much people about the game and stuff today, so that's my first time really kind of talking about it. So everybody said everything. The Saints fan, the lady, yeah, she really been spitting that, talking that talk. I think I'm ready to jump out the window with it, man. I'm gonna say this, man. I'm over it, man. He'll probably come back for another year, but I'm over Tom. I'm over BA. I'm over the whole situation. It's jumping out the window, but I think it's warranted from a standpoint of we keep having the same conversations over and over and over and over and over again.
Wow.
The defense we 15 yards off the ball over. You keep blitzing over and over and over. Inconsistent it's not okay. Last year, this year, it's really the same thing over and over and over again, right? Special team. I keep hearing you saying special team is trash. We trash. We've been trash for a long time, but I'm just talking about this regime. We got a Super Bowl. That was the shock value. I'll be the shock jock like Charleston White said at night, but I'm over it. I'm over it. I mean, and I had to think. I'm like, dang. Well, Tom showed flashes where he still got it. I'm like, okay, all right, but like you say, every time we play somebody competent, what happens? So, Heineke almost beat us last year. If we gonna keep it real, he beat us this year. I don't know why they didn't start him from the beginning, but whatever. And I heard somebody say Dallas ain't gonna do nothing or Dallas can't beat us. Okay, all right, let them be healthy. They got 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers. Number 11 playing out of his mind right now. Diggs, I ain't too whatever, but I believe they could beat us. Green Bay, they balling. It's any given Sunday, but what I'm saying, I'm over this whole situation. We win another Super Bowl. Cool. I'll actually still be over it. That's
so
just
let
me.
me get this straight. Let me make sure I'm understanding you correctly. So you're over. So you're calling Brady this. You calling Brady and this Arians thing as a circus? Like you over this? You over this whole?
Most definitely. Because somebody said it's all about him. They stat patting. It's he want the MVP. He want this. He want that. It's clear. He want to win, but I don't know how much. It isn't like a team thing, really, because every time they put the camera on him, it could just be the camera or whatever, situational. He's sitting at the end of the bench, head down, not engaged with the players most of the time, from what I've seen. I could be wrong. I'll take that, but I'm just, and I'm just.
So you're saying so you're saying Brady is a distraction? Like you're saying he getting too much attention?
Yeah, I think so. And even look last year in the playoffs, he only throws who he's comfortable with. Even this year, he gonna run and Godwin in the ground. You going to him? Come on, Mike Evans there. He went to Mike Evans a couple times before you went out. Like even in previous games, it's just no, man. He has no chemistry with other players. I feel like enough chemistry with other players. Like Johnson ain't a bad player. He made a big catch for you last year. He was I think I saw a report where he was practicing with them in the off season, and BA made a comment like, "Oh, certain players need to get to camp," referencing Tyler Johnson, and he had to come to camp instead of practicing. I think it was voluntary practices, and he made a comment in Tyler Johnson. So he wants, what I mean? He was trying to build that chemistry with him, but it still ain't there, or he don't have confidence in him.
You're the first Bucs fan, to say that you're over this Tom Brady situation. You over it. I'm over it. Like, wow, that's the first.
Yeah, I'm over it, bro. Like, the Super Bowl, cool. The culture hasn't changed once again. It's still gonna be the same thing. And we talk. And I heard y'all talk about the Kyle Trask thing. Why is he inactive? He needs to be the starting. He needs to be the backup quarterback on this team. If you draft him in the second round, who cares about Blaine Gabbert for real?
I don't.
If Tom goes down and Kyle goes in, he the future, obviously, right? Y'all took him in a second. Darden, y'all traded up for Darden, and he's shaky. But that's how I feel, man. Honestly,
wow.
I'm over it. I thought about it all day. I got in and out the chat a couple of times. I'm like, I don't know if I want to say that, but I'm like, I'm gonna jump out the window. You feel me?
Sure
So
did. You might get some flack behind that.
That's cool, man. But he ain't a Buck guy for real. He just here to prove some people wrong and run up his numbers.
Wow.
That's what he here for.
Well, he will be always remembered as a Patriot, no matter what he does here.
Right. So with that being said, he ain't a Buck, so come right.
Wow.
Because once he gone, I'm gonna still be here. Once he gone, we all still gonna be here. We still gonna be on the ship, and he got us a ring.
So you want to read this super chat?
What's that? He's saying pretty. Oh man, I don't know. He's not motivated like last year. No, man, I just think he might be hitting that downward trajectory. I think that's what it could be. He had a couple games last year, like, okay, all right. He had a couple throws. He still had flashes. Even this year, he still had flashes or whatever of greatness. I ain't taking nothing from him like he ain't great. I'm just ready to go forward. Hopefully we can win. I'll take another ring. I ain't gonna turn that down, but I'm just ready to move forward. Hopefully it ain't too ugly. Hopefully it ain't too ugly moving forward, but I'm just ready to move forward as a fan. Because it's just too much. I feel like it's just too much. They're making it I'll tell you why I didn't want him to come. Everybody was gonna make it everything about him. They was gonna make everything about Tom Brady. When it takes a team effort to win a game, to win games. Talking to other fans, other Patriots fans. Oh, Brady's the reason y'all won. Brady. No. I gave him 50%, and 50% is a lot for the championship. For one player. I gave him that last year. People like, oh no, 80%. How 80%? Did y'all watch the games?
80%.
Are we being realistic? No, and that ain't just something I'm making up. I'm being dead serious. They was giving them that much, of the credit of why we won last year. No, that's not true.
Well, a lot of fan bases look at the Bucs and say the only reason why y'all winning is because of Brady. That's what they do.
Right.
I knew it was going to happen when he got here. That was what was going to happen.
Right. But yeah, man. I'm gonna keep watching them. I'm gonna keep watching because I'm a fan. I go out every weekend. I watch the games, buy gear, everything else. I'm just because we knew coming in it wasn't gonna be a long-term thing, anyways. I was hoping maybe he would try to not try, but maybe he would help change the culture. But I don't see that. Once again, I don't see him changing the culture because if the culture was changed, we would have won last night. We would have won last night. Something would have clicked, and they would have.
That's what I was waiting on. I was waiting on that because I kept saying this during the game. I said we're gonna be fine. We'll turn it up in the fourth. We'll get it together, and it just never quite got there.
They've been lowballing us. That's what they was doing. Come on, man, y'all boy ain't got no. Where the heart at? Where your balls at?
Yeah, they're lowballing us, man.
Come on, so if the culture ain't changing, so why him and BA there? Okay, all right. That means we need to, I ain't gonna say the R word, but keep it pushing, man. But yeah, all man, right. That's all I got, man. I ain't gonna hold you.
Well, is there anything else you want to say to the Bucs fans that's not a shock value?
No, man. Everybody don't say everything else, man. I say this, man. Last year, I noticed the play calling was different in the off season than in the regular season. So maybe they'll switch it up. Maybe it'll be the same thing. Maybe the play calling will be different in not in the off season, the postseason. Maybe the play calling will be different in the postseason this year. The same thing, maybe, because that's the only thing we could truly hope for. Because if we take this same play calling in to the playoffs, that ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. Y'all doing the same thing over and over and over again. Maybe they're just rocking everybody to sleep. Maybe. Maybe, I don't know. So we gonna see, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank
you for coming on, man. Join the locker room. You close the locker room out, man. The lights about to turn out. Everybody out the shower. Wrap it up. Let's go.
Wrap it up, cuz. All right, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Bless. Well, folks, I had a great time with you guys in the locker room. This was the longest locker room chat after a game. Period. And we needed this. We needed to have a locker room talk like this. Everybody put in the emotions behind this loss. A lot of us remained calm. Didn't get overly emotional. It's okay to vent, folks. It's okay to vent after a loss. It happens. We can't win them all, right, Bucs fans? Because some of you thought we were going to win them all. You got to take the loss. You can win as a fan, and you got to lose as a fan. One of the key things, one of the principles of being a fan of a team that's winning, you got to know how to win with class, and you got to know how to lose with class. And we're learning that as a fan base. We're going to keep learning as a fan base because we're not used to winning back-to-back seasons consistently as a top team. We're not used to all this success, and we're learning as a fan base. Humble yourself. We're not used to winning like this. We need to get used to it. You win as a fan base and you lose as a fan base. Stop with the excuses. Stop with the finger pointing. Because when we win, it's all let's chug a lot of beer. Your team sucks. Your team trash. We're better than you. Super Bowl this, Super Bowl that. And then when we lose, it's because we didn't have this guy. Oh, it's because this. No. You got to be fair across the board. Stop with the excuses. I'm going to say this over and over again. Nothing will be easy moving forward with the Bucs. We are the hunted. We're not the hunters anymore. People want to bring us down. They want to take the Bucs down. We're the defending Super Bowl champions. We're going to get every team's best effort. We're not the perfect team, folks, and we're not the best team right now. And we're obviously definitely not going undefeated. So I'm going to say this to everybody in the Bucs community, even to my Pirates and Sea Bandits. We're all in the same community. But please, and this is going to be my new hashtag. Hashtag humble yourself. That's my new hashtag. Hashtag humble yourself. Please. Because if last night didn't humble you, I don't know what else. No, I don't know what else will humble you. We got beat from top to bottom. It is that simple. It is not a rivalry until you start winning. And what did I tell y'all leading up to this game? No, that's not about Tom. It's not about the running game. It's not about the passing game. This is specifically about coaching. And what did we see last night? Arians, Leftwich did not do a great job. Starting with Bruce Arians. Because we can point the fingers at the players all day. But the biggest finger that you got to point is the Bruce Arians. In that pathetic game plan. That soft as baby dookie game plan. You literally let a team with a H-back / tight end come into Tampa, home game, Sunday night, and get your butts whooped. That's embarrassing, folks. And if you don't believe me, folks, go look at the Bucs chat. Go look at the Bucs Facebook groups. They all complaining. Every single one of them. And I'm in all of them. They all whining and complaining. Very few are like, man, we just lost. But by 90% of the Bucs fan base are complaining. They don't know how to lose as fans. But they'll learn. Because over here at Buckles Locker, when we talk about facts over feelings and we humble over here, we're going to stand out. We're not going to complain. We're gonna voice our opinions. We're gonna voice how we feel about it, right? But we understand the situation at hand against the Saints. We understand what the problem is when the Bucs play the Saints. We truly understand that. And for those that's not a part of the Buckles Locker, Powers and Sea Bandits group, they don't understand. Because they don't think football first. They think Bucs first. Football is X's and O's. Football, when you strip it down to the bare metal, it's about X's and O's and it's about coaching and the culture, like Aubrey said. When it comes to the Saints, it has to change. The culture, the mindset has to change when the Bucs play the Saints next year. Twice, both games. Because if it don't complain, it's going to become it's already a laughing stock. The Saints fans don't even consider the Bucs as a rival. Well, how about we make it a rival? And it starts with coaching. Jason Light, get that D-line young and fresh. Maybe get that secondary tightened up. Address the running back situation. Godwin, pay the man. Because I want the Bucs to beat the Saints. And we're going to come back next year with the same conversation twice next year, but this time it's going to be in our favor because the Bucs will beat the Saints both times next year. I'm going to go out and say it. Well, let me stop. I'm not going to say that. Let me see how the offseason go first, because as of right now, the Saints have the advantage. I just want the Bucs to be consistent against the Saints. I just want the Bucs to be consistent against competent head coaches with competent teams. Don't only be good against bad teams. You know, the Falcons, the Panthers, the Dolphins at the time, they were horrible. The Eagles, the Bears, the very flawed teams. You're 6-0 against very flawed teams. The Giants. But you're 4-4 against competent teams with competent head coaches. 4-4. And the next 3 games is against Matt Rule and Robert Saleh. Next 3 games. 2 against Matt Rule and 1 against Robert Saleh. 2 incompetent head coaches. One's a first-year head coach. One's a second-year head coach with a hot seat. Of course we're going to beat them, right? We lost the game against a team missing head coach, starting quarterback, missing left tackle, missing right tackle, missing left tackle, missing a number 1 receiver, missing their special teams guy, Devontae Harris, one of the top return men in the NFL. They had Dennis Allen as the interim head coach. Pete Carmichael, the special teams guy, was in charge of making sure the timeouts was called. You see how they divvied it? You see how the Saints organization, the head coaching staff, how they divvied everything up, and it worked just fine. The Saints are very limited, and we know that, and we still lost the game. That's embarrassing, folks. So, Bucs fans, understand how the game works. You can't win them all if you don't coach, if you're not coached up right. Stop being a little boy to the Saints. You're getting a little boy. You're too small. Right now, the Bucs fans, right now, we're too small when it comes to the Saints. Too small. Too little. Yeah, we're going to get the NFC South. That's great. But when it comes to the Saints game, we're too little. We're not there yet. We're still little boys. We're still little brothers. We gotta grow up as a fan base and as a team and be men. I'm just giving you a thought process. Because we can't talk until we start beating the Saints. Oh, no. The Saints fans has every right to talk sugar honey iced tea for the rest of the season, well into the offseason. They earned it. 1-6 in the last 7 games. Deal with it as a football fan and as a Bucs fan as well. So, with that being said, I had a great time with you guys. We got the Panthers. That video will come Wednesday. So be there for that game. Or be there for that video. Shouts out to all the Powers and Sea Bandits. Thank you for coming to the locker room. It was a great time today. Very long. We needed this conversation. We needed the vent. Keep your heads up, folks. It's okay. We're going to get the NFC South. It's going to be okay. Shouts out to everybody in the Bucs community that stopped by. Shouts out to the Saints fans that came to the channel, that came into the locker room and gave us your side of the story on what you thought about the game and what you think about this quote-unquote rivalry. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share all the videos, and don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you on all new videos that's posted on this channel. With that being said, I want y'all to fire those cannons, seize the day, raise the flag, hashtag no risking no biscuit, hashtag facts over feelings, hashtag bombs away, hashtag what you doing, Bruce Arians? And my newest hashtag humble yourself. Or be humble. We'll make it short. Be humble. Or humble yourself. I'll figure that out. But it's going to be that. That's the newest hashtag. There we go. Hashtag humble yourself. We'll be all right, Bucs fans. Take a deep breath. Get it all out. come Wednesday, on to the Panthers. All right? Smile. It's going to be okay, man. We got 10 wins. We're 10-4. We all right. Buckles lock out. I'll see y'all Wednesday.